Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause of sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
Hey guys, we've been covering the Sebastian Rogers case. I'm Bullhorn Betty, and I had some alarming information sent to me yesterday afternoon. Sebastian Rogers is a 15-year-old autistic boy that disappeared on February 26, 2024, and he has since turned 16. He disappeared from inside his locked home where he was allegedly only with his mother and no one else. There was no signs of forced entry, and it wasn't until March 14th that we realized there was some disturbances outside of the home where there were flashlights appearing on a neighbor's camera. Since then, I was sent a link to a video, And I ran that video on my show today, and it doesn't look good. And I do believe it's legitimate footage. This footage has been enhanced and identifies a lot more than we could have ever thought. Please take a look.
The best part about it is he has managed to do this without any evidence left behind whatsoever.
Used, what Wi-Fi's were in the area. Right. Now, mind you, it was said that there were only, 2 exterior internet sources that came in and out of the area that night. And isn't it funny how one person said one of them was his?
This image was sent to me, and I decided to do some further enhancements on it. So here's one shot where you can see Mr. Foote carrying something, but upon closer review and more enhancement of the photo, this is what I see now to be Katie, Chris, and Sebastian. They're carrying Sebastian. It looks to me as if Chris is carrying Sebastian in either a blanket or a bag. I see a blanket just because of the way the black shape is formed, and it looks like he's carrying him like a baby, and Katie is standing behind him or walking with him. The reason I think this is because when I was enhancing the photos, I could see the differences in the appearance of what looks to me to be a human face. And it looked to me like it was actually a human arm that was draped over the person who was carrying the black blanket, or the perceived person in the black blanket. But here's an example of what I saw. Here you can see the differences and enhancements, and as I enhanced each photo, you can tell that the person's skin stays the same color and the black blanket also stays the same color, so I know that those two images are associated with each other. So as you can see, each time I enhance the photo, you can see that the core images stayed the same. And then there's this little nugget. Let's watch.
I drove around the neighborhood, I drove over by the school, and he's already...
Now, while I can't replicate this information, and quite frankly, it's highly disturbing for me, it does appear that it's legitimate footage. It appears that it's legitimate footage from the lights video that was enhanced. And it appears that there was 2 people loading a large object into a vehicle. We've heard statements from the stepdad, multiple statements, that we'll never find Sebastian. Boastful statements that the best part about it is he never left evidence when referring to his stepson. Like I told my audience on YouTube, it's time for us to pray. It's time for us to pray for Sebastian. It's time for us to pray that he's found safely and is brought home to his father. God bless each and every person watching this video. It's time to pray. God bless. What we do know as fact, however, is that Seth has been searching for his son ever since his son disappeared. Seth has publicly taken a polygraph. He has publicly produced his work records. This man has done everything he could possibly do, including working with the FBI, working with me to advocate for his son, calling on the national media, getting Nick the Hat and Dog the Bounty Hunter, and we're here with what from the mom and stepfather? Nothing for almost 10 months. Shoddy searches at best, working with an unscrupulous PI, felons, and including one searcher utilizing substances, illicit substances, while searching for their son. up in the chat. It's time to get in the case of YouTuber, it's time to go to bed. When you guys start seeing me all like this, where you can't see my lips syncing with my voice, it's because we've got a lot of crap behind the scenes that is running. So let's get to it. We're going to be going through a few things that I think you need to know. For the first probably half hour, 45 minutes, we're going to be talking about other cases. Then we're going to dive into the topic of conversation related to Sebastian Drake Rogers, this beautiful boy sitting behind me. He has been missing since February 26, 2024. It's been almost a year, and we're ready to bring him home. So let's get started this morning. This is some information I think all parents need to know this morning. White House is preparing an executive order to abolish the Department of Education. We're right now in the process of pushing the education back to the state level without it being overseen by the federal government. That means each state, if your state believes the way you believe, you love your state, good news. Your education is coming back to the states. For those states that believe opposite, guess what? Good news. Your education is coming back to the state. The states are going to be responsible for educating your kids without the overseeing of the federal Department of Education. It's time to start educating our children again. So this is a great news, whether you like the man or don't like the man, our children and your states where you have the most control in the education of your child, just no matter what side of the aisle you're on. This is the great news. No matter what side of the aisle you're on, you now have the ability to get the education you want for your child in your state. So I thought this was great news for a lot of people, whether you like them or not. I think this is great news on no matter how you look at this. So I think this is huge. We have a case here. And of course, it's probably already passed. I try to set these things, but they never quite set. So let me refresh this page before I put you guys over to it. We're going to listen to a little bit of a commercial, and then we're going to dive right in. This is courtesy from News Nation. It's about a case from a lady in North Carolina. She has been missing and has been found deceased. Did I get it over there? Okay, give it just a second. I lost my audio, so you guys are going to have to give me even more of a second. Thank you, StreamYard. We always love StreamYard. Good gracious. I think we're almost there anyways. Let me know if you guys can hear this. It keeps telling me it can't hear. Hold on. Oh, freaking good gracious. It was working just fine this morning when I went through all of this stuff.
Following breaking news at 11, a mother who officially
Can you guys hear that?
Almost a year ago, her remains have been found, according to a
Hello,
post.
Samantha.
This is according to a post
Teresa
by Warren County
Robin.
Sheriff's Office. Remains found on Thursday were identified as Dana Lee Mustian.
As we previously reported, a missing person alert was sent out after Mustian never showed up for her daughter's 6th birthday. Several agencies deployed dozens of crews across Warren County searching for her. The sheriff's office says the investigation will continue into her disappearance and death.
Now, it is my personal belief. I've only done a cursory review of this particular case, and there are some issues with her. Not that we take problematic cases. We take cases that nobody really wants to know. It does seem like from the appearance that I looked in, she did have some type. Her life wasn't pink butterflies and bows. You know what I'm saying? She's had some problems in her own personal life, some struggles in her own personal life. It sounds like she was with her father. Her father dropped her off at home. The very next day, she was supposed to be at a birthday party for her child. She never showed up. They reported her missing, and she was never seen again until they pulled her remains out of a pond. This is a case that I'm just going to be eyeballing because, as you guys know, we take on cases that obviously mainstream media is involved in this. I've seen plenty of news coverage in here. That's always good. I always like to see news coverage on these people because some of them just go by the wayside and never get even 5 minutes of airtime, and this one has. So this is super interesting. I have a funny feeling this is going to turn into a homicide case. The reason why I say it's probably going to turn into a homicide case, and it may not, but it was just the oddity of the father dropping her off at home. When I heard she was in the lake, what is the first thing you think of? Is Adventures with Purpose. She was driving her car and must have went off the road, maybe into a pond, and they brought her out. If you notice, they never talked about a vehicle. They talked simply about remains being in a pond. Okay. Her father dropped her off in the evening. So there's really no reason for her to be anywhere other than home unless somebody picked her up or somebody came over. Because why would her father be dropping her off at home if she had a vehicle of her own? She may have had a vehicle of her own. I don't know. But it just seems something seems a little off here. So it seems like maybe she went to meet somebody after she got dropped off by her father at her house. She could be living with roommates at her house. I'm not sure what her house, it doesn't state in any of these articles if she lives alone, if she lives in an apartment, none of that stuff am I hearing. So we don't know what's going on, but I just find it awfully funny that there's no vehicle with her, but her remains were found in a pond. It sounds like a dump to me. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to turn out that way. We need more information, but they are treating this as a criminal investigation, which further solidifies the belief that there may be some foul play involved, that they took this stance of this criminal investigation and removing her remains. So I anticipate there potentially being a homicide charge. There was a case that we covered back in October. I want to say it was around like October teens, like 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, somewhere in the teens area, past 10. We didn't catch this case right when it happened, but it was of this lady. She's a realtor, and her name was Suzanne Simpson. We only did a couple of, 5-minute blurbs. When we originally heard it and read the information, because in the initial reports, in the initial news article, it talked about the neighbor identifying Suzanne and her husband out in the front yard, tussling and arguing. And there was a physical altercation that ensued. And he also heard her scream, and then no more screaming. So we knew immediately, just by a few of the reports that we read on our channel, that she was most likely deceased, and most likely deceased at the hands of her husband. Now, her husband was not immediately arrested for obvious reasons. They needed more information because the husband said, yes, we got into a fight. Yes, we did have the altercation, but she left the home and never returned. So they had to do the investigation and the leaving the home and never returning before they realized, there was her blood on certain items. There was other items missing that could have, and I'm going to say this, it's going to, this is kind of trigger alert. Items used for dismemberment. It is my understanding that she still has yet to be found. But her husband was eventually arrested, and he's sitting in jail right now. She had 4 beautiful kids, and her sister has now broke her silence. So I wanted to kind of give you guys, because we did touch the case, and I am monitoring it, but we're just not taking a deep dive into it. But I do believe that you guys would like to have the information if you guys have the ability. Let me go ahead and move that out of the way. And here we go. Let me make sure my audio is staying. My audio appears to be staying. One step in the right direction this morning. Thank you, StreamYard. The StreamYard gods are good today. At least for this clip, right? At least for this clip. This is from Ashley Banfield. This is Suzanne's sister. And I think it's very important that you guys hear, because she knew almost immediately her sister wasn't coming home.
much for being on. I can't imagine what you and the rest of your family are going through at this time. It's just.
And if you guys wonder, because of fair use, we can only use certain clips for commentary, criticism, and newsworthy. So you're going to see me, even though this is a 4-minute clip, you're going to see me stop it frequently to discuss some statements that they have, so we can be in line with the rules to use the content. Okay, so just FYI.
It's really unbearable reading through the details of the affidavit, of the evidence they have. How are you guys?
And I would like to get my hands on that affidavit, and we just might get our hands on that affidavit. And so Suzanne was a mom of 4, beautiful mom. And I'm going off memory here, so they may clarify it in this clip, this video clip. But, thank you, Libby. Let me just say thank you to all the people. Look at all these people. You guys are beautiful people. You guys are beautiful people. Thank you, Alicia, for, I would say becoming the newest member, but we know you've been around a while. You're already part of the family. We just need to get you a new padded room. So we'll get you a new padded room in this insane asylum. That's just Harry. He's just down the road. He quiets down in the afternoon. Don't worry about it. Kendra, same thing. Thank you, love. Kendra wrote, member for 6 months. Whoop, 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 whoop. It has been a great time with you. I'm glad you're here. Robin, thank you, my love. Gifted a Bullhorn Betty membership. We do have a goal today, guys. We are trying to reach our goal. We will turn the phones on. I'm not sure how long the phones will be on, but they'll be on as long as they need to be on today. If we meet the goal, we have a lot to go over and a lot to talk about. So thank you, Robin. And for the person that received the gifted membership, please don't forget to tell Miss Robin thank you. And welcome to this crazy crew we call the Coffee Club, i.e. the Insane Asylum. Welcome aboard. Melanie, always beautiful, always wonderful to have you in chat, and always such a wonderful support. Thank you so very much. And she says, Betty, Delilah, mods in chat, love you all. Betty, you are amazing. Thank you. You are amazing too. It is our audience. Oh, look at you, Kim. God bless you. Thank you so much. We got Betty. Oh, Betty, you're aw. Thank you. Thank you. God bless you guys. You guys are so sweet. I appreciate all the love and support. Thank you, Jessica. It's nice to have you. So much to keep up on. It is, Caroline. That's why every now and again I got to slow our cases down a little bit and get back to some of the other stuff, because there are so many cases that do need to be advocated for. And this is just a sad case. And if we can ever do anything to bring answers, thank you, Melly Cat. God bless you. If we can do anything to find answers in any of these cases and help in any way, we absolutely, without a doubt, want to. Thank you guys. Thank you for all you do. I felt like I was missing something yesterday. I know. That's why I tried to give you guys, because I woke up and I'm like, crap, today's the day I forgot to tell everybody I wasn't going to be here. And I'm running around here trying to brush my teeth, because you got to put makeup on to go to those meetings, right? I don't want to look like I don't want to present myself like I present myself to y'all. We're family over here, okay? It's a little different, right? So I'm sitting there, I'm trying to make a video. I'm like, crap, I got to tell them. They're going to think I died, So I'm sitting there trying to get dressed. I'm walking out the door. I'm like, dad burn it. I didn't finish the video. So I'm sitting in there, we have to say the Pledge of Allegiance, say our prayer and everything like that. So as soon as we got through the prayers and the Pledge of Allegiance and everything, and the meeting started, I'm there and I got my earbuds in. I'm trying to get this out. I'm like, they're going to think I'm dead. Download. And I'm on the county internet, and county internet kind of sucks a little bit. I got to be honest with you. Thank you, Donna. Thank you. But we got it. This is a sad case. For those that want just a little bit of background on this particular case with Suzanne Simpson. She went to a birthday party with her son and her husband. They apparently, from everything I've learned, is there was some alcohol consumption there. It sounds like her husband is like many other, husbands that have been drinking a little too much. They turn into a different type of person. And I don't think her and her husband, it sounds like, have been having some problems for some time, from everything I remember learning from my little brief, dive in. And so when they got home, there was some type of argument. Apparently, everybody says everything appeared to be fine at the party. But from what the neighbor said, it sounds like as soon as they got home, something was going on. I know that there was problems in the marriage. If I remember going off my memory, I believe there may have been hints of divorce talking, and that might have been what set everything off that night. But I can't recall definitively. So please do your own research if you'd like to get updated on Suzanne Simpson. But it is a sad case, and I feel like the neighbor witnessed her unaliving and just didn't know it, you know. So it was really scary. I can't imagine this woman looking. I can't imagine any of the families where it's a family member responsible, you know, going out and looking at somebody that you love, that you laid down with, that you took care of for years, that you had beautiful babies with, and they are literally taking you out of this world. And that's your last memory before you leave. I can't fathom that. That's too painful to think of. And that's what happened with this poor lady. And she seems so nice. And you can just see she's a good mom. I mean, I'm sorry. People can sit there and say, oh, you shouldn't judge people. You shouldn't judge. But we all do it. We all do it. We all get a vibe. Okay. We get a vibe from people. Some of our times our vibe is saying, stay the heck away from them. Don't get involved with this person, run the other way. And that's what we do because it's so strong in our gut. Right. And so that's what we do. Well, this is, I think, a similar situation. Even though we don't know her, you can just look at her and see how sweet she is. And you can see she's a mom. You don't even have to see her with her children to know that she's a mom. So it looks like her sister her face is very upset. So let's just get on with it. We got a lot to cover and I'm running out of time. So let's doing.
I mean, I guess the best way to explain it is that all we can do is process it as soon as we hear about it. And the first time I heard about it, I was on a trip coming back from Thailand, and I was in Hong Kong. And because of the time difference, it was on a Tuesday, and this took place on a Sunday. And I knew as soon as I heard that my sister had been missing for 16 hours that she was no longer with us, because we have lost my sister at Disney, you know, for an hour or two. We've lost her in South Texas for an hour or two. But my sister has always been at home, you know, in her bed with her husband, with her children. She has a lot of responsibilities, and she doesn't go missing for, you know, more than an hour or two. So I knew right away that my sister was no longer with us.
Look at that. Beautiful lady. You can just see her eyes, her face, her smile. She's just a sweet person. And you can tell she's a mom. You don't have to see her children to know that this lady is a mom. You can see it in her eyes.
That's as soon as I got the message.
I suppose the rest of us, Teresa, were not surprised to hear murder charges levied at her husband, given all the stories that we were hearing leading up to this incredible court document.
That's what people don't understand is the amount of information about her husband. Apparently, he was a good guy at some point. There was a change in his life where he just became this controlling narcissist.
When your family surprised?
I mean, I was never surprised because the minute I got the message, I just knew that my sister was gone and that she was in heaven with my father and my grandma, my grandpa. And so then I actually thought it was this very cut and dry situation just because I was, you know, on the other side of the world. And so from my understanding, you know, they had this fight at the Argyle Club. They came home.
I never heard about the fight at the club. I heard everything was fine from what I read.
The neighbors witnessed it. And I just assumed that, you know, they had figured the whole thing out that night. And so I didn't fully understand the severity of the situation. But once I understood that, you know, the children hadn't spoken to her in 16 hours, that's when I just knew, okay, she's already in heaven. That's just all there is to it.
That's got to be hard for a family to know, you know, for a family to know. I'm not going to spend too much time. That was the clip I wanted you guys to hear related to Suzanne Simpson. Even her family knew that she was something was not right with her. We're going to go over to another case, and this is just an update. This is just, beware of your surroundings, because a lot of people this day and age like to do internet dating. And this, hey, Pebbles, it's nice to see you, love. It's nice to see you. Online dating in this world of crazy, you need to be vetting these people, okay? Don't let somebody come to your home. I know we don't. Back when I was growing up, we had outdoor activities. We had dance clubs. We had places to meet people. This day and age, more people than not are reclusive. They stay in their house. They don't really go out into big crowds. They don't really do anything. And I have to think, in part, that has a lot to do with a lot of the hostility that we've seen in our country over the years, especially at large gatherings. Some of us are superstitious and just don't go because we're concerned that might be, the one, right? So we stay in on 4th of July's. We don't go to the big events. Occasionally we'll catch a ball game or something like that. So how do you find love? How do you find somebody that you can be compatible with and have something? I can honestly say I'm an introvert. Exactly, Angel Mom. I've never been. I'm an extrovert. I've always been an extrovert. But I have become reclusive over the last, few years, more so than I've ever been in my entire life. And it's a lot has to do with situational. We can acknowledge that. A lot of it has to do with the situational aspect of it. But what do? We are finding love online. And we're saying, we spend some time with people on the phone. Hey, how you doing? Right? Well, I think we talked enough. Why don't you come on over. Let's meet. Let's hang out. Let's go on a date. Right? So now you're inviting this stranger you've only had conversations with over the phone and maybe through Zoom or Skype or whatever, right? So now you've seen their face. You got the little hots for them. You're kind of lusting over them. Now you're like, oh, okay, all right. You seem decent. Rover, come on over, right? We've got to protect ourselves. We've got to protect, our young people. So understand your children most likely are using the internet to find love. So educate them. If you are single and you are in the dating scene, please sign up for Been Verified or Truth Finder or another background type of check that you can do. This is not just for true crime and people like me to, research and get as much information. This is to help and benefit you, especially when you are dating someone you don't know. Plug them in, check them out, look under the hood. Don't invite them over to your house until you have a good understanding whether they're a felon or not. I'm just saying. We got to be a little more, we got to be smarter. We're women. We can take care of ourselves. Don't ever let anybody tell you otherwise, but we're still women and there's some big bad people out there. And there's big bad weapons, right? There's big bad weapons that they don't even need to touch us. They can just hurt us without being 10, 20, 30 feet away, right? So we have to be cognizant and protect ourselves as females. This case here is a lot concerning. This happened in Tampa. This is a online dating situation that went terribly, terribly wrong. In Tampa, we had a woman that was staying at a hotel, communicating with a guy over the internet. And this guy ended up holding a pew-pew to her head and robbing her. The woman told authorities she had been hanging out with a man she met online when he suddenly pulled out a pew-pew, put it to her head, and robbed her. We were sitting in the car. Everything was cool. We were getting to know each other a little bit. And then literally pulls out a pew-pew in the middle of the console. And he's like, give me everything you got. And this woman was absolutely terrified and horrified. We've got her 911 call on here, and I think it's important that you guys hear it because I want to save one of you from being in this situation.
Police, fire, or medical?
I need police at 9942 East Adamo. Right now, 9942 East Adamo.
Is it the house apartment or mobile home?
It's a hotel, the Motel 6. Please, I need somebody here right now.
What room number are you in?
I'm outside. This guy, he basically just kidnapped me, and he put a gun in my head, and he robbed everything, and I have him on the phone right now because I told him I was running to my room to get all my money. Where are the police?
I have a lot of people coming right now, okay? I just need you to stay on the phone with me and tell me where you're at and if you see him again, okay? I understand. I don't want you to put yourself in any danger, though, okay? I want you to keep yourself as safe as possible, okay? I understand.
I think I see him walking. I think I see him.
Ma'am, I want you to stay quiet then, okay?
I see the police.
What happened?
Okay.
Just breathe.
This guy told me to come hang out with him. I'm not from here. We met online, right?
Uh-huh.
I go to hang out with him, and literally...
She's a young girl. You know, she's in a hotel. I mean, I'm observing this. She's got tattoos all the way up her chest. You know, was it a hookup? Was it more? I don't know. I judge people because that's my job. So I'm trying to look at all the stuff in between it. But this lady is young. She appears young. Her face is blurred out because she's a victim. But you can see she's scared.
We're sitting in the car and everything's cool. We're getting to know each other a little bit. And then he literally pulls a gun out of the middle console and he's like, give me everything you got. And he puts it to my head and he starts taking everything out of my pockets. He took my phone, my car keys, my watch. He took everything. He was like, I know you have money. And he pulled my room key out and he was like, oh, so you're at the Motel 6. And I'm like, yeah. So he brought me here and he was like, you're going to go upstairs. He put me on the phone and muted it. It was like, you're going to go upstairs. You're going to get all the money you have. Because I told him I had a boyfriend in the room.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got upstairs, I clicked over and called 911. But I seen him come up there because I told him the room across the hall. I didn't tell him what room I was in. But he has my car keys. He has everything. And they're at these apartments.
Get the clear, quick, go far, go.
Clear.
So there you guys have it. What a scary situation this young girl put herself into to hang out with a boy because she was out of town and she wanted to either party. She doesn't seem opposed to partying, okay? But just take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. This lady is lucky to be alive. She had a pew-pew stuck to her head. One little instant. Please keep my sister in your prayers. She's in the hospital on a vent. Oh, no. Getting ready to go see her. We pray for you, Unicorn. God bless you. You've been through a lot. I'm glad you know what? At least you're not having to deal with, being in an office and having to deal with a bunch of people and having to explain and stuff like that. So prayers definitely for you and yours, without a doubt. Guys, be safe, okay? That's all I'm trying to convey here is be flippin' safe. I don't want to be coming out and having to, search for you, right? We're here searching for victims of crime. I don't want you guys being the next victim of crime. All right, guys, here's our next one.
Seen in nearly a month.
She's always there for everybody.
This right here is related to a lady that disappeared from Warren, Michigan. Now, for whatever reason, I feel like we touched her face looks familiar. I believe she might have been the hairdresser lady that disappeared that we covered. I don't know what her profession is, but I remember covering this case. I remember her face, and I remember the man that's arrested for her disappearance and unaliving. This is something that is sad, but they've charged him with first-degree premeditated murder. and DeAndre Booker is the one, and as well as tampering with evidence, disinterment and mutilation of a dead body, concealing of a death of an individual in connection with a death. So Ashley Elkins is her name. I remember we covered her very, very briefly. I think we covered her missing person when she was just missing. Clearly, there have been other evidence and information related to her case. So I just wanted to make sure that you guys got to see. Where's the video? I had a video here about this. Hold on a second. Where's my video? Is it down further? I had a video. Oh, I think I put it over here.
Elkins family in Warren, Michigan, and they'll tell you Ashley is the kind of person to whom people gravitate.
She was the person that everybody went to, you know, when her friends had issues and problems. Just a joy. You know, she came in the room, everybody started smiling. Oh, Ashley's here. You know, she just brought just joy in our family.
It's why Alexis Elkins struggles to hold back tears when talking about the sister they haven't seen in nearly a month.
Ashley is my best friend. And she's a really good big sister. And I know, like, she's just a really good person, and she's always there for everybody.
The family telling True Crime News that the last time anyone heard from Ashley was on the day after New Year's, January 2nd.
I think
the mother of two told her sister she was heading to a local beauty supply store to get things she needed for her hairstyling business she ran from her home. Then things went very quiet.
I remember that. We did cover her missing person, and she was just a hairdresser, a mom that just disappeared. And it was, I can't remember how long afterwards her ex-boyfriend, or I think it's her ex-boyfriend, was arrested for her. I don't know if they're active.
Something was wrong because she wasn't answering her phone.
Monica Elkins says she just missed her daughter when she left her house. She wanted to see her because she was anxious to share a dream she had about Ashley the night before.
Had a dream about her car being stolen, and it was in the field by a tree. You know, her door was open, which was weird. So I texted her. She said, "Oh, man." And I said, "Oh, man." You know, to myself, it just didn't seem right. So I said, well, let me FaceTime her. She didn't answer.
This was the last text she got from Ashley's phone, but she's not sure it was actually Ashley who responded, Monica replying with a mother's plea to be safe.
And that same day around 4 p.m.
And you know what was crazy? Her car was at her boyfriend's house, which was weird that her mom had this mom's intuition. Exactly, Judy. Exactly. Mothers know a lot. That's why I always ask, you know, when I'm talking to them, I always ask, especially the moms, what they believe, because moms have that intuition and they know in their hearts, whether they speak it or not, they know in their hearts how they feel and what they feel happened. I'm sorry, they just do. This looked like a woman that really had her stuff together. She was doing hairstyling, you know, just getting on with life. Getting on with life and taking care of her kids.
Her location stopped sharing with me.
The last location Ashley shared with her sister was here at her ex-boyfriend DeAndre Booker's home.
So now we're calling. Everyone's calling her phone. Back to back, leaving messages.
It all seems so strange because DeAndre was someone the family knew well.
I thought he was a very nice guy. He made my sister happy. They went out on a lot of different dates.
This is important. We thought he was a nice guy. I think that we can apply this to the Sebastian Rogers case, because remember how one of the statements that always resonated with me, and that was Seth talking about how he and Chris had a lot of communications throughout, you know, the custody exchange and stuff like that, you know, any kind of issues that came up. It was always Chris trying to be the nice guy, you know, always trying to be helpful to Seth, always wanting to make sure everybody was on the same page and all this other stuff. He had this facade to Seth. Now, whether Seth liked Katie or Chris or anything like that, he had this facade of being a good stepfather, and probably why Seth never really looked under the hood too much whenever he heard his son saying he didn't like Chris, Mr. Chris. And he didn't dive into that statement with his son. And I know that those are the things that ring in his head often. You know, why didn't I push him a little further to tell me what was going on? Of course, you know, hindsight 2020. It's hard. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to know what's going on when you have this perception that everything's okay, you know? So I think that that's important because people, especially manipulators and narcissists, they have this clever way of drawing people in and making them believe that they're good people and having this facade. But once that facade has been damaged in any way, then they try to then turn the tables and it's all your fault. Everything is your fault because it can't be theirs. They're too perfect in their mind. Can't be them.
They went to Chicago one weekend, and I know he was good with the kids. And he even came to my birthday in Texas last year.
But the family says Ashley recently ended the relationship and DeAndre started acting strangely. Just a few days prior, he used a fake name to book a hair appointment.
He booked an appointment on her website, and I was in her room laying down, and she came in and she showed me her phone. And I mean, we were kind of just laughing about it. Like, why would he book an appointment on your website? And then we heard a knock at the door later that day at the front door, and she said, "Oh, it's him."
Could DeAndre know the reason nobody was able to reach Ashley? The family says they tried to reach him but got no response. The hours turned into days, and the family says they reached out to police, but Monica felt like she couldn't wait for them to help.
I felt like I had to go look for her myself, and I couldn't wait on them. So that's when I started riding around that night, all the way to 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, just...
Oh, not waiting for police. So we have yet another parent that has a lost child, and this happens to be an adult lost child, and they're not waiting for police? Oh, you mean parents? Hey, we're live. Shh. It's okay. They're not coming in. Big bad monsters ain't coming in. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, Delilah. And what was I talking about? The big bad monsters, you know, that I can't even remember what I was talking about. Delilah distracted me. She took my train of thought right out. She just started barking for no reason. I think she hears Emily across the street. So anyways, it's nice to see everybody coming in. We're covering the case, but at the end of the day, there's a reason why she divorced him or left him. There's a reason why they're not together. And then he shows up and does an appointment, and now he's disappeared with her phone at his house, her car at his house. This man is now in jail. I'm not going to go through it. You guys can learn a little more about her, but the missing person has been resolved. They've got him for dismemberment, you know, obviously mutilating a body. So I have to assume that they have found her. I didn't go that far into the case, in all honesty. So I can't really tell you. All right, this is going to be really quick. This is good news in the Greenberg case. Now, if you guys remember, this is the woman that you got this diagram here. You guys remember this. This is why we never believed this was a suicide attempt. This was a murder. We believe that she was murdered, and her family fought 14 years to have her case classified as a murder as opposed to a self-inflicted situation. and they were finally successful. This is a family that never gave up on their daughter. Oh, I remember what I was getting back to. That woman, she went out searching for her child. And that's one thing that we did not see from Chris or Katie in the case of Sebastian Wayne-Drake Rogers. They didn't wait for law enforcement to give them the go-ahead. They know deep in their body and minds and souls that if you have someone missing, you go and look for that missing person. You don't need somebody to tell you. I'm sorry, this whole nonsense that they couldn't look because law enforcement told them to sit their butt at home, but they were allowed to leave the home to go eat is ridiculous, is absolutely ridiculous. Well, Betty, everybody should eat. You're right. You're right. Everybody does need to eat, and I get that. But if you're going to go and sit your ass in a restaurant and eat some barbecue and enjoy your meal, you better have your butt out there in the woods searching for your son with the other 100+ volunteers that were out there doing the same darn thing. The good news is we do have parents that fight for their children, including their adult children, much like the family of Ellen Greenberg. They fought for her for 14 years, and finally, they are going to have justice for their daughter. And I hope her fiance is thrown under the damn jail. There is no way in God's half acre that I believe that just the minute that he walks downstairs to exercise and play around, and I watched him downstairs on the video, and he's lollygagging around, taking his time to get back upstairs, cut it out. That man needs to be in jail, and he should have been in jail 14 years ago. 14 years ago, that man should have been in jail. But either way, good news. That case is going to go forward. So we will be monitoring that. We will be following that. That is something I dug into a little bit deeper. This beautiful angel right here is no longer with us. The reason why I grabbed this particular case is because, and of course I lost there's no noise on here, but I will have to change out because I lost my audio again. This beautiful angel, and it's sad because, I'm always thinking about Sebastian Wayne-Drake Rogers because that's the case we're heavily involved in right now. And then I hear about this little 11-year-old girl that's no longer here. But it's not just that she's not here. And it's not that she was unalived by her own mother. It's the fact that she was tortured in that home. She was tortured in that home. And we're going to go over some of that. And it wasn't tortured like she personally was tortured. What she witnessed was torturous. What she witnessed was torturous. So a Maryland mom unalived her children's 4 pets. Yes, this woman injured the 4 pets before unaliving her own daughter. Keona Dillon is now facing first-degree murder charges in connection of the death of her 11-year-old daughter. Right there. Nice tattoos on the neck. Looks like a real winter chicken dinner. Real winter chicken dinner. Officers called to the Middle River home around 12 p.m. on Thursday, January 23rd. Inside the home, officers discovered the body of London. A dog, 2 cats, and a rabbit were all deceased. Dillon allegedly told police she attacked her daughter and admitted that she is the one that unalived the 4 animals to show the victim what would happen to her if she didn't tell her the truth. Didn't tell her daughter, or her daughter didn't tell her the truth. She unalived, put those animals up and unalived them in front of her daughter. Tortured her daughter moments before she took her life. According to the charges, Dillon's 5-year-old daughter told police Dillon beat the pets with a hammer the night before she allegedly unalived London. The reason why I come to this case and I'm presenting this case, not any other reason than this is a beautiful girl and she deserves to have her moment here. Okay, she deserves to have her moment. But it brought me back to the cats Sebastian's cats and how he was forced to get rid of those cats for this horrible man that ended up abusing him, at least for the last 2 years. We've got to fight for our children. Her life matters. She deserves to be an adult. She deserves to have a wedding. She deserves to have children. She deserves to graduate school. She deserves to have prom. All of that has been robbed from this precious baby girl. Only 11 years old. And if this is the way her mama was treating her at 11, God knows what she went through. Ages 0 through 10. She deserves to be honored. Baby girl, baby girl. Vermont. We've got a missing person out of Vermont. I think I'm going to do that later. Remains were found inside an RSO's home. We'll do that later. This is one I'm going to show you. And the only reason I'm showing you is because she has a Remy. She has a Remy. That's a lady right there from Pasco County. There's an active search for her. Her name is Joanne Fenton, 63 years old. If you guys are part of my Florida family, if you guys have seen her, she disappeared on February 3rd around 11 a.m. just 2 days ago in the Hammock Road area of Port Richey, Florida. She's 5'8", weighs 135 pounds, red hair, green eyes, beautiful smile. You see her little baby monkey right there. And she's been missing. So if anybody has any information, please call and reach out to law enforcement. Our final situation, our final story is the update on Brian Kohberger. We know right now that the state is working hard to delay. They have been hitting all of the evidence to challenge the admissibility of that evidence into the trial proceedings. And right now they tried to attack the IGG, which is the investigative genetic genealogy. Hey, Lady Justice, it's nice to see you. B. Betty, it's nice to see you as well. Crotch watch. I forgot about that. Let's do that. That's funny. That's some funny stuff. Let's see if we can pull up Crotch Watch. If you guys have never watched Crotch Watch, it's hilarious because the defense. It's all the defense. I'm sorry. It's the defense. Let me write the crotch. Okay, we're gonna pull up Crotchgate. Hold on. Let me stop it. Okay, let's do some Crotch Watch. Let's do some Crotch Watch. Hold on. I've gotta take this down. StreamYard. Lovely StreamYard that likes to kill my audio. This is just for Sonia. Okay, Sonia, don't say I never gave you anything. I hope you guys get this laugh. This case, I'm very emotional when it comes to the Brian Kohberger case. Very emotional. We were out there. We had an opportunity to really get to know the victims of this by the work that we did. And so this case I really, really, really take seriously. But there are just some things that I'm just like, you've got to be joking me. Like, you have got to be stinking joking me. Are you joking me right now? So Brian Kohberger's claims, media are focusing on his crotch. I can promise you. They're probably taking the cameras off your face because you've been complaining about it being in your face. And there's only so many things that they can focus on. Just saying. I doubt your crotch is newsworthy at all. So Nancy Taylor, Jay Logsdon, Brian Kohberger. Really? You got nothing we want to see, babe. I can assure you that. That's probably why you're in the position you're in, Mr. Kohberger. Like, none of us, and I mean none of us, want to see that. But for the love of everything that is holy out there in the world, where would you like them to focus the camera?
I mean, how picky are we going to be about this? So it's focusing primarily on his face. Now it's not that. Now I guess all these thumbnails out there on the streets of YouTube and abroad must be, you know, having these crash shots. The people here on social media, we don't care about his crotch. Maybe I need to become a content creator and quit my day job.
Brian Kohberger recently argued that cameras in court are focusing too much on their client's crotch and should be removed from future hearings, including a claim that some cameras have been targeting his fly. Mr. Kohberger is entitled to defend himself against capital criminal charges without cameras focused on his fly.
How can you keep a straight face?
Social media post that appears at page 3 of his motion. No photographs or camera coverage focused on Mr. Kohberger's fly.
This is the funniest shit I have ever heard in a case in my life. OMG. I'm wondering if I should intervene in the court hearing. But should we be intervening so we can focus on his crotch? Now, no matter what. Every time he walks in, our eyes are going to go directly to his crotch. He's going to walk in, watch. I guarantee it. We're going to be on crotch watch now. Crotchgate? Should we call it Crotchgate? Crotchgate 2023? We have to give props to mainstream media because I really don't know how they keep a straight face. We're going to be on crotch watch now. Just saying, not playing. Just saying, not playing. Where were we? Here we go. Now we're back here. So, yes, they're challenging. They're challenging Crotchberger. They're challenging a lot. They try to challenge the IGG. I didn't check out to see whether the order has been in for that yet. We'll do a good update on this. I'll plan for something. What's today? Wednesday. I'll probably plan for something early next week to go over the case of Brian Kohberger so we're all up to date. Now they're challenging the search warrant. So first they banged out the biggest part of their case. The biggest part is challenging the DNA, right? They want that DNA thrown out. If they could get the DNA thrown out, the majority of this case goes right out with it. And now they're starting to go on the search warrants. Now, remember, we were there when they executed a search warrant of his Steptoe apartment in Washington at the Washington State University. And I think they're trying to challenge that warrant. Remember, we never heard the results of the forensic findings of that house. We only know what was in the affidavit of probable cause, which basically indicates there was a reddish brown substance on his pillowcases, like specks of it. Could he have gotten something in his hair and laid down on his bed and got some of that transfer on his sheets or on his pillowcase? It's possible. We don't know what the results of that investigation were or what the forensic findings of his apartment were. I talked to the Chinese couple that had children. They were PhD students at Washington State University. And when I spoke to them, they talked to me and told me about some of the weird and unusual behaviors of Brian Kohberger. For example, he was a very quiet neighbor until the middle of the night. In the middle of the night, he ran water. They said they don't know where the water was running. It would just run for hours. Water would just run. Then he would start vacuuming. He would get the vacuum in the middle of the night and start vacuuming while running water. She said it was very, very weird behavior in the middle of the night that just happens, and they couldn't hear it because he's upstairs from them. So it was a little weird. Somebody says he was an insomniac. Caroline Miller says he's an insomniac. That very well may be. But why would he wait until the middle of the night to start turning on all the water and vacuuming his floors? It just seems like really odd behavior. But that's the only odd behavior we were able to corroborate from a neighbor's experience, right? Firsthand experience. So I don't know what's going to go on with these warrants, but we know that there's going to be several things that are challenged. We still have motions to suppress, motions in limine that they're going to be trying to get some of this stuff hushed up. They have, 403B, the evidence has to be what was 403B? What's the the probative value outweighs the prejudice is, I think, that 403B rule. And a lot of attorneys, defense attorneys, like using 403B because it challenges some of the evidence, even if the evidence is admissible. The probative value of that evidence outweighs the prejudice of the defendant and therefore cannot proceed forward into the trial. So there's a lot of those things that are going to be challenged. This is one step. They're going to be challenging every aspect of the evidence against Brian to try to get some of that thrown out or tossed, weakening the state's case against Brian. That's the area that we're in right now. The trial is anticipated to begin in August of 2025. I know that the families of these victims are ready for this trial to begin. And they need to start exercising victims' rights in Idaho if they're going to continue to delay this. They're going to need to start exercising some of those victim rights that they do have available to them by statute. So hopefully we'll get to the bottom of this, and I'm pretty confident in law enforcement in this particular case. I'm very confident in the probable cause affidavit that I saw. I'm absolutely confident if they can prove 75% of that probable cause affidavit, Brian Kohberger is toast and will spend the rest of his life, if not sentenced to death for what he did to these beautiful souls. These girls, you know, despite what people were saying at the beginning, a lot of people were calling them the, snobs and, blah, blah, blah. That couldn't be further from the truth. I was boots on the ground. I got an opportunity to speak to people. All of these kids, Xana, Ethan, Kaylee, as well as Maddie, were all super, super sweet, super kind to everybody. They weren't what people were trying to make them out to be when this case was first going on. It was almost like they were trying to victim shame these girls. And you know what it had to do with? Because they're beautiful. They're beautiful. And for whatever reason, no offense, but people that aren't like them have, in some cases, are jealous and spread around horrible stuff about people. But I really had disdain for the victim shaming of this case, or trying to justify what happened to these 4 people, and it did happen. Brian Kohberger, without a doubt, does have a fan base, which again bothers me to my ever-loving core. Okay, I will not lie about that. Having a fan base for that Yahoo really does bother me. All right, guys, thank you for allowing me to bend your ear. I told you guys I was going to try to wrap up within the 45 minutes. I went over about 10 minutes. So thank you guys for giving me the leeway to do the first part of the show and get you guys updated on other cases you may be interested in. Now, if you do see a case that I cover here in that first section that you'd like to learn a little bit more about, please always reach out to me. And if we get enough people about a particular case, I'm happy to dive in a little bit deeper. Okay, so you can always reach out to me at bullhornbetty@gmail.com. I'm getting a little worse at responding to my emails, I will be honest. And it's because of the volume of emails coming in. And so I do appreciate the emails. I do get to them eventually. So if I don't respond to you right away and you need something, I may have overlooked it, or it may now have fallen further down on the list. You may just want to go in there and resend it. Okay, I tell people, don't think I'm going to get offended if you send me something twice, right? I know how I am, and I know I can't get to everything. But if it's super important to you and you still haven't received a response from me, please resend it to me. It means you just felt. I respond to everybody's email, whether I even if it's. Well, unless it's a troll just trying to gaslight, I just throw them into a harassment file and I'm done with it. I do that because, and I just want to let everybody know I do that. So if anything does happen to me, law enforcement can come here and they'll have the file for everybody, right? I don't trust people, and they've jeopardized my, my well-being enough over the last 3 years. I have a file on literally just about everybody. And they're stored. I have letters in my locked cabinet that when they get to it, they'll have a letter of everything I'm going through, a list of everybody that they can investigate. I cover my ass every which way from Sunday. I know that the stuff that I do is dangerous, and I'm okay with that. You know, God has not brought me here. If he wanted to take me out, trust me, I was dead, right? I was dead. I was lying on a floor dead. Don't know what to tell you. Bullhorn Betty died. And I was also reborn, right? And I mean that by everything in me. I was on my living room floor deceased. So if God wanted to take me off this earth, he could have. He could have. He had a better plan for me. He had a different path for me. That was not my story. That was not my story. So yeah, many people don't know. I told you guys my 20s were wild. I don't know what to tell you. My 20s were wild. I am a miracle. That's why I live the way I live this day and age. I was supposed to have been gone a long time ago. When I was 15 years old, I had an officer, and my mama, I know she doesn't like talking about it. It upsets her so. I was 15 years old, and I can remember Officer Oliver. I remember him, Officer Oliver. He built like a brick shit house too. And he was the kindest person in the whole entire world. And he came and sit down at the table with me and my mom. And I remember they had just picked me up from running away. And he sat me down at the table, and he's like, Andra, I see this all the time. I've been around here a long time. He's like, if you do not change your ways, you'll be dead by 25. That's what he said in my dining room table at the age of 15 years old, that I would be dead at 25. He was right. He was right. Before 25, I did die. And even when I came back, I was still doing the nonsense that got me where I was. It took family, it took fighting, it took people having my back and staying strong with me. It ruined a lot of relationships, but here I am today, and I am very thankful that God gave me a second chance at life. And I never, ever, ever, ever want to let him down again. So I hope you guys don't have to find your path like I had to find my path. That's why I do what I do. So you can be wise instead of smart. What's the difference? Wise is learning from somebody else's mistake. Being smart is learning from your own. I'd rather you guys be wise than smart. So there's a lot. I do what I do because I've been given the gift of life. And I feel like I owe it to the world to give back. Kind of my shtick, right? My shtick. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers is a 15-year-old when he disappeared. He is now 16 years old. It's this beautiful face right behind me. He's been missing for almost a year, and his father is desperately wanting to bring him home. Aw, thank you, Kat. Kat sees you. Oh, thank you guys. Thank you for your love and support. We'll definitely turn on the phones. We'll get the phones turned on when I'm done with this little segment. We knew something in the bottom of our heart that this case, there was just something off about this case, right? Because we've all heard, and I say this before, I'm going to say it again, we've all heard of autistic children running away from home and winding up in ponds. We've all heard of teenagers running away from home. This is not what caught us. This child being a runaway was not what caught our attention. This child not being found is really not what caught our attention. What caught our attention on this particular case was his mom and stepfather. Something did not sit right with us. This is not a normal case that we cover. We don't cover runaway teenagers. We will if we feel that there is something that we have a gut feeling that there's some other element in the runaway, right? So if their teenager did run away and nobody can find the teenager, like a female, we're going to think that somebody picked her up, right? But it wasn't even that with this particular case. It really wasn't. Oh, I got to sneeze, guys. Hold on. Let me try to. should have taken my allergy pill. Sorry, excuse me for that. But it's not a case that we cover, yet we're covering it. I truly believe God has a hand in this case, because for many of us, this would not be a normal case that we cover. It wouldn't be a normal case that interests our audience, but look how many people are fighting for Sebastian Waindrake Rogers. That in and of itself is a miracle. So I do believe that it was by grand design that we're all here focused on this young boy. And I do believe that something happened to this child inside the home, and I've maintained that from literally the beginning of my assessment of this case. It's the only route that really made sense with everything that we know about domestic violence, about parental custody issues. We felt something. We did not know, let's be honest, we did not know that this child that his mom and stepdad had tried to rehome him since October of 2022. We did not know that. At the beginning, we did not know that CPS was involved. We didn't learn that until middle to the end of March. And then after that is when we were kind of saying, okay, we trust our instincts. We've been around the block. We've handled, watched and monitored cases like this. We've got a child missing. Nothing else is missing but that child, and this child is reclusive. That is the key issue. This child is reclusive. When he's at his mom and stepfather's house, he goes to school, he comes home, and he goes to his room. So why would a reclusive person run away from home? It doesn't make sense, because that's a reason why people are reclusive is they go to their comfort zone. Can we all agree with that? Like, I don't know how many other people are introverts in here, but when we go and hang out in our little area, it's because that's our comfort zone. So if we have a child that has autism and is reclusive, that means he doesn't have a lot of friends. He doesn't go out and play. We all learned that from his own mom and dad, as well as his dad. So we have corroboration that while he's at his home with his mom and dad, he doesn't have a lot of outdoor time. He gets that time, even by Chris's own admission, when he visits his father. His father loves to go fishing with him, take him to playgrounds, take him, it seems like when you hear Chris talking about it and talking about normal activities, because that was the question, is this a normal weekend? And he would not answer whether this was a normal weekend, but he goes on to say that, they work, and when he goes to his father, they like to go fishing and blah, 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 blah. It doesn't sound like in their home, they do a whole lot with him. So that's critical information, because that means that this child comes in and goes to his room and keeps himself occupied. So if he's keeping himself occupied, what would make him run away from his safe place? Because his bedroom is his safe space, especially when his stepfather's not home. It probably feels even more safe when his stepfather's not home. Unless his stepfather's not the only one that's abusing him. There is that. So we have to look at that. So recently, Light's video came out March 14th. Another section of that video, because he only had the lights walking and going off camera. Apparently somebody else decided to put the whole other clip in there. And the other clip that was in there was the one that captured the car and the lights coming to the car. That was critical. That was missing from Nick Barris. So either the homeowner or the neighbor that had a copy of this film released that. Those are the only two people that would have had this in their possession, custody, and control to release this out to the world. So I have to believe that the neighbors wanted to make sure that the information was as clear as possible. So Nick Barris released a video. It was missing the car or the lights coming to the car. And then all of a sudden, that video was also released and leaked. So now we have two different videos out there that's leaked. We have the Nick Barris with the lights coming from the backside of the Proudfoot home.
and then the leaked video from the neighbor that shows the lights going to the car. At the end of the car, there's some movement, and that was enhanced. I am going to say this because I am so sick of this lady. Michelle after dark can kiss my white breaded ass. Sorry, not sorry. I used to have such high respect for that lady. Now I know that she's as stupid as a box of rocks. The lady has no analytical bit about her. If she's not told what to think, she's not disseminating it. She has now aligned herself with a bunch of felons. She's allegedly. Now, we don't know nothing about this lady. But she touts that she's this psychiatrist or psychologist or whatever. Really? And you can't figure this one out, you dum-dum? Put my name, share my stuff again. I revoke any type of working with Michelle After Dark. I've unsubscribed from her. She's run off of just about all of her subscribers she once had and replaced them with the Leech Squad's subscribers. She used to do videos because she liked doing videos. Now she wants to make that money, which, hey, you know me. I do not focus on the money on these apps. I focus on the content. So she has been bitten by the ugly bug. So I just want to make sure that she gets this because I know the hate channels are going to clip this and give it to her. Michelle, I'm going to tell you this. When this case is over and I can prove that you helped these horrible parents, I'm going to ruin your reputation because I'm going to show all your nastiness to the whole world. And when I'm done, the last thing you're going to ever want to do is put Bullhorn Betty in your mouth again. I think you're a disgusting slob. I think you need to go back and get your education and pull that stick out of your rear end. And I need you to go back and reanalyze this case because you're too stupid for me to even comment to. Michelle, you're too stupid. You've lost every ounce of common sense you have. And quite frankly, I'm disappointed and absolutely disgusted in you. And from this point forward, I'm going to put you want some attention? You got it. You got it, boo-boo. Buckle up, Buttercup. Buckle up, Buttercup. Now you can talk all the damn cash shit you want about me. But trust me, I'm about to even that playing field because I'm going to ruin your reputation with your own commentary. Wait until this case is done, Michelle. I'm going to make you look like a laughingstock that you deserve to be. Go back to those hate channels, stay with the cockroaches, lie with the dogs, and catch those damn fleas. I'm done with you. Once I'm done with you, I'm done. You will never have my respect. You will never have my viewership. You will never have me talking about you. This will be the last plug you ever get of me. And trust me, boo-boo, you don't want to play Bullhorn Betty's clips. God bless you. She's trying to put doubt in the images that were done because she thinks I did it. There's a rumor that I'm the one that did this. No, I'm not. Independent parties. Full Betty jacket. Amen. Amen. I had no hand in this. This was all done by third parties that just wanted to find the truth. They released those on their platforms and I picked them up. It's as simple as that. I had no hand in it. I have told you this is not in my wheelhouse. I don't know how to do it. I'm not going to attempt to try. I can do some enhancements. Those enhancements are about to the level of what Bullhorn Betty can do. So anybody that thinks that I'm the one passing this, you're too stupid for the Bullhorn Betty show. And if that offends you, quit getting offensive and get into the know, right? I'm offending you, so you will go out and prove Bullhorn Betty wrong. And when you try to prove me wrong, you enlighten yourself. That's why I do what I do. I'm very effective. She was rude, yelled at, mean, like I yelled at me, cling me a BHB drone. Oh, Lisa, thank you. Give it to her, good Betty. Yeah, well, she's an idiot, and I stay away from her. She tries to say she's a college educated. That lady doesn't have no freaking education. I can tell you that. I used to think she did.
But now that I realize how stupid her commentary is and how she's nothing but a drama bitch, I'm done with her. I'm done with her. My mama unsubscribed from her. My mom has been with, she's the one that leaked to my mom that I was Bullhorn Betty. My mom didn't even know I was online as Bullhorn Betty until Michelle After Dark was talking about Bullhorn Betty. And she shows a picture and my mom's watching her and she's like, that's my daughter. That's my daughter. Hi, Mom. How you doing? Huh? Got something to tell me, honey? Something to tell you? What are you talking about, Ma? I haven't been dating. I ain't pregnant. I ain't getting married. What are you talking about? Is there something you need to tell me, honey? What? Are you Bullhorn Betty? Oh, yeah. Well, Ma, can you imagine that? You're just perusing on YouTube and you're watching just your content creator that you've been watching for years, and then all of a sudden this lady's talking about Bullhorn Betty and being out there and giving those parents what they deserve, and then all of a sudden it's that's my daughter. That's my daughter. That's my daughter. Ring, ring, ring. Hey, Mom. That's how Mom found out I was Bullhorn Betty by and that lady says she doesn't dox anyone. Okay. Well, I was being secretive and my mama found out because of her. Hey, Crime Stories Obsessed. It's nice to see you, love. I hope you're doing well today. Don't forget to sub up to Crime Stories Obsessed. Good morning, love. Well, it's not good morning for her. It's probably wow, it's almost evening for you. Are you just getting off work? Some people truly, in my opinion, don't care about exactly, Michelle. They have truly shown it, and it's sick and sad. Those creators need to just move on. Oh, don't worry. I'm gonna be dragging the crap out of them. When this case is done and resolved, and Sebastian is home with his father where he belongs, these a-holes that were trying to sit there and rag and trash Seth, oh, they have not even begun to deal with my fury over that. Because I'm looking for a kid. When that kid's found, game on. I will tell you that. Game on. You think this is a game? All right. This little girl's going to show you what a game's all about. I'm going to wipe your ass, Michelle. I will. I'm going to take your ass and wipe it all over the floor by the time I'm done. You are absolutely lost every single one of your damn marbles. Every last one of them. You're disrespectful. You're disgusting. You're a slob. Don't worry, boo-boo. You're on the list. You made it to the top 10. You made it to the top 10. Okay. Getting on with this, even though we can manipulate, everybody knows images can be manipulated. But if she's too stupid that she can't do the research and wants to talk mad cash shit, I'm going to drag her. I'm going to drag her. So these are not manipulated images, despite what the people that are advocating for parents that abuse children. Yeah, she's just that dirty. Michelle After Dark. Michelle walks, supports baby abusers, child murderers. Get on with that shit. Get on with that shit. You will never be able to redeem yourself in Bullhorn Betty's eyes ever after this case. Anybody that has dogged Seth will never be able to redeem themselves. I can understand at the beginning. You don't know who's responsible. You're blaming everybody. I get that. But this far in, with all the information we now have, and then you're going to try to systematically dispute legitimate and relevant information to pat yourself on the back, you narcissistic. Maybe you need to have a psychologist. Maybe the lady has hit her head. Maybe she's going through Alzheimer's. I mean, she is old as shit. No offense to my old ladies in here. I can already see you guys go into the refrigerator for eggs. Eggs and tomatoes. Eggs and tomatoes. But hey, you never know. You never know. I thought that she would be over it once she started digging in and actually doing investigative work like she usually does, that she would be able to figure this out for herself. So because I've always had high regard for her. But now we're here almost a year and she's with the same old bull crap because of clicks and views. She ain't no good. I have no respect for people that are after the clicks and the views. I truly believe you give people quality content, the clicks and views will come. I truly believe that. I believe that with my whole heart. How old is she? 13? She's starting to act like it. She's starting to be part of the mean club, right? They've all congregated together because she thinks it's going to help her numbers. So she's listening to a bozo the clown, JLR. Get the magnifying glass out. You might not be able to see him. I know, that's what I say too. That's what I say too. But how is this, any of this helping Sebastian? I don't like people when I know work is legitimate, I don't like people criticizing it, especially when they fail to provide their own receipts to contradict the information, right? So say, for example, the screen that had the grave stuff, what did I do? Did I go out there and call everybody horrible or say this or say that? No, I don't need to mock people. I do occasionally when I just want to mock people, and that's just to give them their own BS back. But I don't go out there and mock people. I look into their stuff. And she doesn't even look into the stuff before she's advising her people, and people trusted her. And she's saying, oh, well, this could be manipulated. Well, no shit. Anybody knows any video image could be manipulated. But don't just say that and try to discredit factual information. Debunk it legitimately. Blow it up and find something different. Freaking idiot. You know what we did? And this was, the first half is courtesy of Cajun. This is how we dispute information. So my statement to them, put up or shut up. Because we definitely put up over here. And we don't have to mock or condescend or talk down to. We do. But we don't have to. Because we do come with the proof. We do come with the information and the facts. We don't come with just our opinion. Oh, well, you know, it could be. We actually looked into it. What a novel idea, Michelle. Dum-dum. So let's get back to these fictitious lights, these made-up lights that Michelle After Dark obviously is too stupid to get. I'm pretty sure she's going to say that this light that's on is somehow the neighbor's light because that goes with her narrative, not with the facts. It goes with her narrative. Because she's been wrong about this case. And again, it comes down to arrogance and ego. Nobody wants to acknowledge that they were wrong. They were wrong. I grabbed this clip because before Mob Crew, I did it again. Mob Crew even got footage. Cajun sent him a picture of this in the daylight, real time while he was on this live. But what I find awfully interesting is this right here. Before Mob Crew got the other information, he's trying to figure out where these lights are radiating from. What's shining on this? We still never figured out what this is. but he believed somebody was right about here, potentially with a flashlight. I find it quite interesting that literally a half an hour later from this very footage, there was a person almost in the exact same spot within probably, let me get back over here. Probably, where's the light? So probably right here. How close was that analysis? Like, he did not have any other information but he used his common sense in analyzing this photo. According to Michelle After Dark, this photo right here, well, without the drawings, was manipulated because she's too stupid to do her own fact-finding or real work. And I would say if you're a psychiatrist or psychologist, it's time for you to give yourself a test, dum-dum. So we have a person that he thinks is right there, and lo and flippin' behold, look at this. Lo and behold, right about where he said that figure was, there was actually a freaking figure. So this was sent to by Cajun, and it's really, really good and really good context and commentary, in my opinion. Because again, he didn't know what this was. He was using his common sense to put stuff together. Now I lost my place and I don't know where I was. There it is. He used his common sense to put stuff together. And it's pay dirt because he didn't have the information, but look how close he was. Look how close he was to being as accurate as possible. He is so freaking smart. He is. He's a good guy. And not only that, I mean, God bless him. If you guys weren't watching that, I swear I went through my footage because he's looking at this box right here. Let me get over here. I'm going to tell you guys the story. So I was in the chat, and God bless him because he took time to look at it, and he couldn't see it, and I couldn't understand why he couldn't see it. It was right there. And it was because everybody else realized it was a freaking truck mirror, and I'm thinking it's a utility box because it had the lines in it, and I didn't realize it was attached to the damn truck. Okay, ha, 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 ha. It was funny. It was funny. But God bless him because he was working that photo. He's trying to see what I'm seeing. He's like, I can't see it. I can't see it. I'm like, it's right there. It's right there. And so I'm sitting in chat, and he's got it on slow motion. He's got it on slow motion. So I'm sitting there trying to say, it's just the mirror. It's just the mirror. But I had to sit there and write, it is the mirror. And then I went back, and I'm like, I was going to put the stop sign. So I'm like, maybe I need to put the stop sign so he knows that it's the mirror. It's the mirror. And he just keeps talking and talking. There's like 1,900 people in chat. He's not seeing my messages. And every time I'm like, I'm ready to get out of here. I can't handle this. Like when I want to type, I want to type. And I'm saying, you got to wait 1 minute and 30 seconds and then you'll be able to post again. And I'm like, no! But everybody's like, we're all saying it's a mirror. It's a mirror. And he's like, Betty, if you could just circle it for me. And it's like, I see it's a mirror. No, that's a mirror. It's a mirror. And nobody could tell him. And by this time, I'd already spent $10 trying to show him the utility box that ended up being the mirror. I'm like, I'm not spending another $2 to tell him it's a mirror. Hey, Michelle. But he's nice as nice can be. He worked with it. He's like, maybe I'm just not seeing. I mean, he was really, really nice. He was really, really nice about it. What a great sport. And he did spend some time. I'm sending him stuff. I knew I had this. Well, I didn't have it. It was a mirror. I was so happy that I found something in the middle of the yard. I'm like, I figured it out, that I didn't analyze it. Cause it was like, I did it within like 6 minutes. That was some pretty good timing too. I managed to go to the videos that I did in the area in June, and I'm looking through them and I'm slowing it down and fasting and forward and slowing it down and trying to see, because I only went by there, going up to the circle and back. That was it. That's all I got for footage from their house. And I remember stopping on the way out of the community to show you guys that patch between the two fences. And I remember explaining, I'm like, guys, this is not a fence that's butted up to the neighbor's fence. They have a full fence around their property. And then there's this huge patch between their yard and their neighbors behind them. big enough that a riding lawnmower could go through it, because I wanted to give you guys context of the width of that walking path. And lo and behold, that's where they're seeing all these images. So I wanted you guys to get an opportunity to see some of the new enhanced photos. Not enhanced, he just got them. He had no time to enhance them yet. But we were looking at this and trying to make heads or tails of this, because the unscrupulous PI blurred out the entire backyard, which is stupid. There's nothing to see except everything going on in the backyard of the Proudfoots at 3 o'clock in the morning when they're supposed to be sleeping. It just doesn't make sense to a lot of us, okay? But it does corroborate one thing. Katie's alibi is bye-bye, okay? She has none. She has no alibi. Her alibi, she had an alibi 2 days ago, and now that alibi is bye-bye. Bye-bye. And we see an image of a person, and we wondered, why did he block this off? It's because he was actually covering up the image of somebody outside that home. That means SF saw this and intentionally tried to obscure the truth once again from his audience and the world after being paid $15,000 by Chris and Katie. He has barely searched for this boy. All he has done is criticize, drag, and humiliate anybody and everybody working for the benefit of Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers and to bring Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers home. He intentionally covered a being, a person, a silhouette on the outside of the house, being a silhouette from their own light, from their own master bedroom at 3 o'clock in the morning when they were supposed to be asleep and watching the sheep jump over the little bar thingy. You know what I'm talking about. Counting sheep. Doesn't sound like they were counting sheep. It sounds like they were moving a boy, if you ask me. Just my opinion. That's been supported by a lot of corroborated information. So while we were on this live with the mob crew, he receives quite the file of information, real time and live. And I think that was right here, right about an hour in. He's talking, and somebody sends him an email or a text message. And he's like, wait a minute, this looks familiar. He goes, this looks familiar. Holy smokes. We have a daytime view of that area. Look at that. A daytime view of that area. Identifying exactly where the house is, and that being their light, not the light of the neighbor across the street. You can almost see, you can absolutely without the doubt see the side of the house. I mean, period. The side of the house is right here. You can see this tree. You can see that there's something right here causing the light not to. So there's something tall sitting right here, like in a bag, possibly a sea bag for all I know. And it looks like it's leaning up. I thought it was corrugated metal, but now that I'm seeing it from this angle, you can see the shadow behind it right there. And it looks like there's like this, I guess, I don't know what this is back here, but it looks like whatever this is kind of leaning on whatever this is right here. But either way, I wanted to take a few minutes and I wanted to get that. So here's the daytime view. He just got this.
Okay. Yeah, because Nest, that's the camera. That's one of the camera brands. This is from the surveillance.
It's from the surveillance.
This is daytime. So yeah, here's that object. Okay. Here it is again.
So we see the object. We just can't make
object. So here's the home. So look, there's the tree.
So we can take out, what I'm trying to say is at this point, we can take out the sea bag. I don't know what that is. I'm still looking at it, but it seems like it's there. You can see, he's saying that you can't see the window. It's blurry, but you can see something there. But it's blurry. It's like this blur right here and right here. But there is something here. It almost looks like it's gray with like maybe a white. I don't know what that is. It stumped him. It stumped me. If you guys can figure it out, let us know. But there is that. So you can clearly see that light.
It looks just kind of like it's obscured for some reason. But yeah, clearly here's this tree and the home is right here. So the light is clearly
right there
on right here.
So this is what, and I'm waiting to hear Michelle say this is fake. I'm so sick of the narrative that they are running, the propaganda they're spewing on these streets with the Sebastian Wayne-Drake Rogers case. Let me tell you, the lady don't know crap. She's had no contact with anybody. She's never reached out to Seth. She's never tried to make heads or tails of any information. She has not even done the due diligence to comment on these. It's very frustrating. It's very frustrating. So if she wants to keep going down this, then I'm going to start putting her on the pedestal and making people look about how stupid this lady is.
It's weird you can't see the window, though, but, from this far away, I don't know if the tree if there's something just kind of blocking it.
That might be what it is, too. Let's look. Oh, maybe it is. Maybe it's that tree right there. Maybe it pokes through the tree because of the light being on. It's prominent, but maybe it's obscure. Let's look at, I want to look at Google Earth here. Let's see what we got on Google Earth. Let's see if we can make heads or tails of this. Do I have them on this one? Sebastian Rogers, I do. Okay, I got two of them. One from May 15th, one from May 25th. Oh, this is the one I did where I was marking everybody's. All right, so let's go to the house. Where's the house? Keeps saying the house, but it's not giving me the house. Okay, so let me just type it in. All right, so now we got a little bit of a better bird's eye. I don't see any tree other than the tree right here. There's nothing that really should be obscuring that, except unless it's on their side. So I presume the camera is right about here, on the side of the house. It's going to be at an angle. It's all they don't just look straight. You adjust them. And so if we look at Chris's, let me go back to the image. Do we have the image? Let me see the original. Hold on. Do we have the original? He's got it blown up too close. I'm going to see if we can find one where the original one that was provided on here. Because he's blown it. He scrolled it in because it looks like let me get to it. There. Like that. Let me get back. There. So that is the camera. And it's weird. And the reason why I think it's weird in the way that it's angled is for whatever reason, it doesn't seem like it's attached to the house. Look how far away from the porch it is. Let's see if we can determine. I think the camera is on the RV. I think the camera is on this RV because it has about the same distance away from the house. It doesn't look like it's attached to the house. It looks like it might be on the RV. So it's almost looking straight back. It's not attached to the house. Does it look like it's attached to the house to you guys? Betty, it's on the side of the house. Let me look at the house. It is on the side of that, so it's not on the RV? So if it's on this, that means it's only going to be pointing here. So the cone view would be probably here to here. So if the cone's from here to here, then camera being on the side of the house would be going straight across here. Let's put a line. Do I have the ability to put a line? Let's put a line. So where is it, Justin? You're going to have to, oh, I'm on the wrong one. Hold on. Oops, I'm on the wrong one. Hold on. I'm working on this, you guys couldn't see me. So if it's on the house, it would be right here. So the field of view, you guys didn't see any of that. I was just talking about the field of view would be, if the camera's here, it would be like here. It's like a V, right? It's like a V. So there's our most likely our view, right? So we can clearly see if this is here, this is in front of their line down here. You can see the car right here, right? So it's in front of their driveway. Straight from this way, you'd be, in order to see their driveway, it's being hindered by the shed. So it's directly behind the shed. You can see, let me pull this way. You can see the vehicle right here. See it? The little white blob right there. So if we're going on this side, this is the side, right? This is the side of the shed. Let me see if I can find there we go. Let's do this. So if we're going from the side of the shed, let's look at this photo again. Make sure we got it right. So we're going to go straight down the side of this shed. And we're going to just line this shed up this side, not the middle, which is right in front of the driveway. We're going to go from this side over and see where it lands on this graph here. Get my little thing. So we're going to take it from the side. Now it was out a little bit, but we'll just take it right from there and just go straight. And just go straight. Okay? That is the back of their house. There is no dispute whatsoever with what we're seeing, even though we are being manipulated by people that are incited and paid for by Christopher and Katie Proudfoot. Do you guys see that? You guys see why I did the line on this side of the shed? I did the line on that side of the shed because that's the area that we're looking at. See? We're looking at this side. This is the side that had, look how close it is to this shed. You guys see that? So we needed to find out definitively, is this coming from their house? It is. And Michelle After Dark and Michelle Walk could have done the same analysis instead of sitting on her platform, failing to do her due diligence, and opening her big, fat, ugly mouth. I hope I offend her because I think she's done a disservice to her reputation. And I'm going to make sure she holds on to that. Justin, hold on. I'm calling you back. Justin's calling, so we're going to let him explain. Can you guys hear?
Hey, sorry.
That's okay. I'm glad you called. You didn't hear it ring, so I just happened to catch it by the corner of my eye.
I sent you a picture of where the camera's coming from.
Oh, okay. Email? Oh, text message. Okay, I'll get it now. I'll get it now. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
All right. So Justin, saved by Justin. Saved by Justin. Okay, so there we go. Put this up on the big screen here. I'm gonna remove my background. If you can't see it, yeah, I think I'll have to remove my background to show you guys this. Yeah, I'm gonna have to remove my background. Give me just a second. Let me remove the background, the virtual background. There we go. Can you guys see that? Or is it too? Oh, let me put this. I didn't mean to scare you. She hates tripods. She hates the sound of tripods because I'm popping them all day. Can we do it this way? You guys see it? So it's on the side of the house. So it's on the side of the house. Let's go back here. Well, let me get my virtual background so you guys don't have to see my light. Actually, this should be turned off. That will help a little bit with the lighting. Okay, so now that we know where that is, it's on the other side of that. So it looks like, let me share this instead. It looks like this right here. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Okay, so let me go ahead and clear that one. Undo. Okay. Now let me undo that. Okay, let's do another one. So we've learned right now from Justin that it appears that the camera is right here. So we're going to follow it, follow it, follow it. It's out at an angle. It's not flush with the house, so it's off an angle just ever so slightly. And we're still running about the same area. We're still running about the same area. I emailed it to you. Thank you. You're like, Betty, don't show it. I checked to make sure that there was nothing here to show your name or your phone number, but you never know. Let me open up my email and we'll get a better photo of it. Thank you, Justin. Let me find my email. Okay. Play. All right. So there you guys should, oh, no, I didn't put it up yet. There you go. So there's the camera. You see on the corner of the house? And it's kind of going at an angle. Would you say, Justin, I'm going to show this to you. I'm going to go back over to chat. Do you think that that's more of an accurate rendering right there? Oh, no, I wasn't even thinking that. LOL. I was just doing it so you could pull it up. Thank you. I love it. I love it. Yeah, but I had to check because I never lighted it up. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm just throwing this phone up. Look, guys, look. I never think about those things because, I keep forgetting about because we live in our own little bubble over here too. I forget about the trolls and how they like to, let me look for Justin. Did you see that, Justin? Let me see. Does that look about right? So that's two cameras, two separate positions. That makes more sense. I don't think there's two cameras. I think it's just one. I think it's the one right here. I think it's just this camera right here that's getting those angles. But as you can see, it's not flush to the house. It's looking at an angle. So that's two cameras, two separate. That makes more sense. Now I do know that one of the photos that was taken looked like it was taken from somebody's phone. They stood in the yard and took a picture, but they weren't even at the angle of the camera. So their picture was absolutely at the top and lower one. Oh, yeah. Is there a top one? Let me look at this. Hold on. It looks like one's angled one way and another one's angled another. This one looks like it's angled out to the road right here. This one looks like it's angled this way, out toward the yard and the shed. I'm pretty sure they put this one on the on their house where they put it because they have the shed. And as you can see in the images that, let me find the one. And it seems like the images, that's not it. Let me find it. I like the one that's back. I think we're getting close to it. Okay, I think it's this one. There it goes. So this right here, as you can see, what is that camera focused on? It's focused on the shed. So my belief is the reason why that particular camera is installed where it is installed is to cover the shed. But you know, I keep looking at this camera. I still don't believe that's the camera that took the photo because that's too close to the house. And it seems like this camera would get all these stairs and stuff, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong. It seems like it's more of an angle appearance, and that the appearance would be more angled toward the shed versus the back side of the house. Are we positive that's the camera? Well, I know Justin does his due diligence. But that looks like it's set away from the house because you can see the stairs. You can see the stairs. It's almost as if the camera is in the yard. And the only thing that I can ascertain that the camera is in the yard is that RV. That's the only other thing that's sitting in the yard. I would just think that if it was attached to the house and going through the porch, we would have the porch view, you know, kind of going through it this way, than out here in the patch of dirt. Like this, I don't know. I don't know. I guess I'd have to look at that camera. But this particular view looks like it's being taken from out in the yard, not affixed to the house. No? It's above the stairs. Maybe on the eave. Let me just check one other thing. Huh. It's interesting. It's interesting. They got two cameras right together. I wonder how many more cameras they have on their house. Do we know how many cameras in total they might have on their house? Justin, did you email it, hun? Did you see my deep dive email about the motorcycle trailer? What motorcycle trailer? Snuggle struggle Barney. Some of the stuff you guys write in here crack me up. No, the house just out from the porch. Okay, that might be it. Either way, we know where the angle of the camera is, and even if we had to take it closer to the house than from the shed, I use the shed because I know where the shed is, and we can see the shed in the photo. I can't see the camera in the photo, so in this, it has a different appearance. But either way, even if the camera is on the corner of the house here, if it's getting anything on this side of the shed is the back of the Proudfoot's home. Anything on this side of the shed right here. Let me see if I can. From this side over. Anything on this side over is the Proudfoot home. Directly behind this is the Proudfoot home. You see that? So let's put the other one back up so we can see that one too. So we're told that the camera is right here on the corner of the house. It's kind of it's not flush where it's going straight down the house like this. It's kind of off off the house and going at a slight angle. Let me undo that touch there. Okay, so we have a slight angle off the house. And no matter how you look at it, it's going to hit anywhere here. And this is their bedroom. No matter where you look at it, it's going to hit here. The idea that is not their window. I don't know who is saying it's not their window. Well, yeah, I do. The guy that was paid $15,000 by the people he's trying to manipulate the audience, for the Proudfoots. Everybody's saying that I'm not going to treat this family any different than any other family we've covered. The bottom line is we've always said their name. We're going to continue to say their name. And I have told and will stand on my platform and on my hill, and I will die on my hill. If my government wants to throw me in jail for covering a national interest and newsworthy case, and is trying to tell me I can't say two people's names, they're going to have to throw me in jail, because that is a violation of the law. That is a violation of the Constitution. This is Chris and Katie Proudfoot's home, where their child, Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, resided inside this home. This particular home has had 5 CPS reports. Since they purchased this home in September of 2022, by October of 2022, they have been trying to remove Sebastian from this home. Then finally, on February 26th, which just happens to be 8 years to the date of when Katie filed for divorce from Seth, their son is reported missing. Their son is reported missing and has never been seen again. We have leaked audio going out that is very, very hard to hear, but you do hear, what I hear is Chris's voice. Chris has a very distinguished voice. I think when we hear him, it doesn't matter whether we see him or not, we know his voice. And it sounded like his voice was saying something. Now, I have horrible hearing. I could only make out, I think, 3, maybe 4 words in that whole entire audio. I don't know where that audio came from. I'm not willing to stand on that audio as being 100. I'm standing on those images from the back of the car. I will stand on those. And I will stand on the images coming from this camera here, identifying somebody being awake. But even this camera here with somebody being awake, I'm not 100 on it. I'm standing on it, but not 100 on it. Why? Because it wasn't until Mob Cruise Live last night that I realized, and I think everybody realized, the timestamp that we've been relying on was individually affixed. That means that the person that released that photo with the grayed out area in the common area actually put that date and time stamp on the photo. That wasn't the date and time stamp automatically added to the photo. That was manually added. And when you manually add something, especially from an unscrupulous PI, you got to do a little more digging. But since we did have somebody that did get the footage, I'm pretty sure we're working on confirming the date and time of when the image with the lights on were on. So I anticipate more information, especially from this particular photo and information with the lights that got us all on here. Again, Cajun with TikTok has been doing a lot of great work and going and fact finding the unscrupulous PI. And what she is finding is the unscrupulous PI is an unscrupulous PI willing to do these types of things for his clients, for paid people. So I do appreciate you guys letting me bend your ear and giving you my assessment of this. I really want everybody to do their own fact finding. I want you guys to come up with your own opinions of what happened, review everything, listen to everything, and then plug in common sense and see what it tells you. That's what I would love for you all to do. Thank you so much, Brenda. Brenda is the newest member. She's been around a while. A newest member of the crazy crew we call the Coffee Club, and she brought 5 friends along. She donated 5 Bullhorn Betty memberships. If you received your 5 Bullhorn Betty memberships, don't forget to tell her thank you. And also welcome to the family, this crazy crew we call the Coffee Club, i.e. the Insane Asylum. It's scary in there. But not as scary as some of these people that are working for the Proudfoots. The Insane Asylum's much cleaner and much more peaceful than the crazy crew they got. So we can always be blessed and thankful for that. Okay, without further ado, I promised you guys I would turn on the phones. I don't know if we technically met the goal or not in the goal area. I'm not there. I can't check. But I can tell you everything I see, it looks like we met our goal. I wish they would let us meet our goal instead of having numbers of super stickers and super chats. I wish they'd let us meet our goal a little differently than that. So I'm going to turn on the phones. I'm going to give you guys an opportunity to call in. Let me know what you think of this lights video. I've already said what I'm going to say when it comes to Michelle. So I want you guys to keep it respectful. It's kind of do as I say, not as I do type of thing for this morning. But I don't like my audience, being disrespectful. If I want to be disrespectful to another content creator, I'm going to do it, right? But I really like you guys not to get involved in the discord of content versus content, content creator versus content creator. When we have our little fights, it's sometimes just best to let it play out the way it's going to play out without getting yourself ultra. And I don't want to toxify your body's mind and soul because I have a problem. That's not fair, So again, thank you, Alicia, for becoming the newest member. Kendra, God bless you. She's been here for 6 months. Woot, woot. Robin donated a Bullhorn Betty membership. Thank you so much. Our beautiful Melanie telling everybody good morning and continue being who you are. Kim, good morning. Good morning. Libby says, Betty, you are so cute. Thank you. Mally Cat, keep up the good work. We love you. Thank you so much. Wheezy Girl up in the house. Thank you for all you do. I felt like I was missing something yesterday morning. I know it sucks. I hate that, but we're going to have to adjust Tuesdays. Just remember, if I'm not here at 10 a.m. Tuesdays, it's because I got the county stuff. I promised I would get back into my county stuff. It's been a while. I've always been popping in and out of there, but the last time I walked out of there, they wouldn't turn my phones back on so I could help. And it was because even though KVO and I were friends at one point, he was trying to block some of my initiatives, and he was the chairman of the board. So while I don't hate KVO, I'm not really pleased with him. And he was moved off very quickly. I remember going in there and telling Misty Servia and Carol Whitmore their days were over. We were removing them. They laughed at my face. Guess what? We removed them. Pretty much the same thing from KVO. He laughed in my face. Bye-bye. He was gone the next year. So, it's the power of bringing people together and getting everybody to, kind of fall in line and get our county under control. And sometimes you got to just do what you got to do to get the job done. And so we're moving along. For the first time, I got some good results. I was at a meeting last night. One of the county commissioners was discussing how much more effective that they are being, and they're really trying to advocate for their districts. So it's a breath of fresh air, but it took quite a bit to get where we are today. Phil, it's nice to see you. Robin, thank you so much. Lady Justice became the newest member of this crazy crew we call the Coffee Club, i.e. the Insane Asylum. Good morning. Kat sees you. Hugs and kisses. Aw, Lisa, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Teresa, thank you. Thank you for the super sticker. You can't see me. The satellite pic 1224 does not have any objects. Good observation. Good observation. And we went over Brenda. Again, thank you, Brenda. Oh, look at that. Veronica B. Truly gifted a Bullhorn Betty membership. Thank you so much. Welcome to this crazy crew, i.e. the Insane Asylum. And our beautiful Bobby member for 7 months. Thank you for all being here. Thank you for all keeping this channel doing really, really well and successful. I really do appreciate it. And let's not forget Justin. Justin for All's in our chat. Go over there if you haven't subbed up to Clutch Them Pearls. Sub up to them. Sub up to Gypsy. Sub up to Smiley's World, Mob Crew, The Deception Detective. There's just a lot of great people on these platforms doing amazing things. The Lab, I always forget about the Lab. Josh is doing great things. You know, he's a no BS attitude as well. So a lot of people are coming together for the benefit of Sebastian Wayne Rogers. So please, if you really care about this voice, support those channels. Those channels need your support. It's what helps us get this message out. What helps us do everything that we can do. We cannot do this without your support, period. We can't do it without your support. Brittany J, Mr. and Mrs. E Crimecast. We've got a lot of them, a lot of great content creators out there doing the right thing because it's the right thing to do. And those are the people we want to gravitate to. If you guys want out of this drama, then stay on the channels that don't provide the drama. Very simple. Are we going to have our opinions? Are we going to call people out here and there? Yes. It's all about finding the truth. So that's what we're seeking. I don't know about Justin. I do know about Justin. But I know that we raise money. We do all of this work to find the truth. We're selling truth, not lies, not deception. And I know that Smiley, I know that Mr. and Mrs. E, I know that Justin for all of them have the same goal, to find the truth. We already have the support, if you haven't noticed. I mean, to be honest with you, people like right now, this is a low day. We got 478 people in our chat right now. Do you know how many people out there would love to have 478 people in their chat in the morning? So we've got the audience. We don't need to manipulate our audience. We've already got you. You're here for the truth. And that's what we're selling. Now, sometimes, through things move, they're liquid, right? They're fluid and they move very quickly when cases are coming out. So I anticipate people getting certain things on any new case wrong at the beginning because things are just moving really, really, really quickly. And you're just trying to pump out breaking news, pump out breaking news, pump out breaking news. Some of that might not be 100. So you fix that over time. And when things start slowing down and you have the time to analyze and thoroughly analyze stuff, then you can correct all of that. But in this case, when this stuff was moving, it was moving at rapid fire. The whole month of March was nuts. And they had already scaled back the search before it started becoming nuts on our end. It was moving so quickly. And once we came to the end of the information, we had to start analyzing that information and finding out what we can, decipher of what we've got. And so some of that stuff does take a very, very long time to do. I don't know how long Grace's gavel was working on the back end of that car, but she did an amazing job. And I can't give her enough credit. She did an amazing job, and we're forever thankful. Sebastian's army is forever thankful to her for the work that she did. So, all right, guys, enough of that. I'm going to go ahead and move this on to the last segment of this show. The last segment of this show is to call in. If you guys would like to call in, you've earned it. You raised, that was our goal. We were going to raise the funds. Once we raised the funds, we were going to turn on the telephones. Now the telephones are on. We're going to be here until the telephones stop ringing. So there you go. The number is 724-252-8070. The first person that calls in, give me an opportunity to do a mic check to make sure everybody can hear you so we don't have any problems. You can hear that ringing. If you can't, let me know. This is Betty. Who's this and where are you calling from?
Hi, Betty. This is Shirley H. up here in Denver.
Hey, Shirley. How you doing, my love?
I'm doing great. Just finding out last night that I graduate June 3rd from my criminal justice classes.
Congratulations. I'm so proud
And
of
I'm
you.
gonna tell you, Sebastian's case has really helped me through my classes. Me and about 6 other students, we sat down all weekend and we broke down this case. And I am going to let you know with UTI and Mr. Numbnuts and his goons, they need to be truthful. Because if you go back and you analyze every text message, every Facebook post, every interview, you can see in them, in all that, how they are telling on themselves.
Yeah. That's why I always go back to the interviews. When we start getting stuck on something, we go back to the beginning and start from the beginning, keep working back.
And the reason why I'm saying they need to come out with the truth, Betty, is we have Miss Numbnuts, we have Mr. Numbnuts, we have this UTI, we have these goons, and then we have Seth and you and Justin and all the other channels. And you're sitting there and you put all this together and you're going, why is this group over here debating everything over here when none of their stuff is making sense?
Mm-hmm. And when it doesn't make sense, then and people bring that up, what happens? They start mocking people and, insulting people. Like me, I was insulting Michelle because I had just had enough and I just wanted to make sure she got my insults. And the only way I'm going to make sure that it's clipped and sent to her is calling her directly out, because I know the hate channels are going to be, look what Betty said about you. And so I do that. I do that intentionally. If I didn't want her to be clipped and sent to her, I'd just keep my mouth shut.
Right. And I understand that. But if you listen to Mr. Numbnuts,
mm-hmm.
when he talks,
yeah,
he uses code words that nobody has picked up.
For example, give us an example.
Well, some of you guys have. We.
Okay.
The mom. That's your wife. Why are you calling her the mom?
Mm-hmm. True. Especially when he's very possessive any other time and calls her his wife. My wife.
Right. And that light video that the mob posted last night, them 2 little round lights that are shining beyond the tree.
You know what it is?
Yes, I do know what it is because we broke it down last night after the video came out.
So what was your assessment?
That is lights from either an SUV or a pickup. It's either the headlights
we never
or the
saw
tail
a pickup
light.
in that area, though. There was no other car in that area. According to Miss Bobby, there was only one car that went down that road that night. And that's
either headlights or tail lights from an SUV or headlights. You can tell by the shape. And Mr. Yuki,
is it possible? Is it possible that because you know how we've learned because of mob crew that the car sitting on the side of the road, he said it wasn't sitting because we never saw the headlamps. Like every car that's sitting like this and they turn on the lights, we can see the side and the lens of the light. In this one, you couldn't. You could only see the lights coming from the lens. So it implied that the tip of the car was more in the like toward the grass. But it wasn't until Pinchot, and Pinchot is the one that realized that the car was all the way in the grass. Could it have been the angle of that particular car that far away, giving some radiant light on that?
No, that's lights in the driveway of Numbnuts.
I think that would have been awesome.
I'm gonna have to send you. I'm gonna have to call the other student I've been working with to send me the video so I can send it to you.
Yeah,
It
that would
lines
probably because I'm not
perfect.
seeing it. I'm not seeing it.
Not the light that's on the ground by the tree. The two lights off to the side that look like those circles.
Let me go back and see off to the light some circles. Let's see. Off the light with some circles. Yeah, you're gonna have to send it to me. I can't.
Okay.
Because now we're gonna get into the whole mob crew thing, like I did last night. I'm gonna be like, I can't see it. I can't see it.
It's okay. But if you look at that house that had that camera, you can see that glow in that window is not actually a light, overhead light in a room. It's a TV reflecting off of
Gotcha.
out of the window.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because you can see the little flutters going on in the picture that he did. And UTI, this is a message for you. Take that privacy down. We already know who's behind it. We know what was going on back there. It was either Mr. Numbnuts or Miss Numbnuts walking back there. We already know that. We don't figure that much out.
I'm going to say this just as somebody else also said that they know who this guy is. If you have ever worked with this Yahoo and he has done something horrible to you, if it's been done in the last 2 years, file a complaint against his license. Quit just letting it go to the wayside. This man should not have a license. He is a criminal himself. I know he's violated federal law against me. I know that for a fact, and he'll never be able to take that away. And if you've had and I filed a complaint against him for doing that. So
I'm surprised.
If you cross this guy, this is for anybody that's ever worked with him, ever had anything to do with him. If you are experiencing these kinds of things, file a complaint. If you need help filing a complaint or need to know where to file your complaint, reach out to me, and I'm happy to give you where at whatever state you're in, whatever state he's licensed in, and whatever state he affected you in. I'm happy to give you the licensing and the complaint that you can fill out. Please make sure you calendar everything and you have supporting information to prove your case, and I will be happy to help you.
Well, what we found when we broke down this case last night, we sent our findings over to Sumner County and TBI. My other question is, Betty, how do we put pressure on TBI and Sumner County to come out with a pressure? This child has been missing for almost a year. The last thing we heard from law enforcement was April, I do believe.
The only time I can get law enforcement to finally hear our voices is when we come together and raise our voices. And I'm happy if people want to come out and we can do a gathering of voices in front of Sumner County Sheriff's Office and have our signs and sign waving on the corner there. We can absolutely do that. I guarantee if we come in the droves of 50 or more, it will definitely make an impact. They will hear us, they will see us, and we will be there loving. We will be there praying. We will be there, advocating for him. It won't be anything disparaging because we want this boy brought home. There's nothing disparaging about this. I got nothing to do with his mommy and his stepdaddy when I'm out there advocating for him. As far as I'm concerned, they're nothing to me. They're nothing to me. I can't wait until the silver bracelets hit both of their wrists because that's exactly where I think those bracelets belong. Period.
Well, I think
that's the only thing that's going to apply pressure to a law enforcement body. And it may not even work because they're too stubborn and don't really, I don't know this area. These people are crazy to me. This whole community.
Well, I think more than just the numbnuts need to go to jail.
Yeah.
Because we got the UTI in here throwing interference, which is obstructing justice. We've got a few other channels that are obstructing justice. And it is getting really bad when you sit there and you can pick apart their contents and their wording on how they do things.
Yeah. And you notice we don't have to insult people. We just bring it up here and explain it. Okay. I'm checking now. I see Cajun. Hold on, Cajun. Let me check.
When I get back from the doctors, I am going to send you a video that we made last night. Me and my classmates, which we turned in this morning to our instructor, and he was like, "Oh my God, you guys just broke a case."
Yeah, and so I want to also correct something. Apparently, Rebecca Turner, aka Queen Bee, is saying that the judge is going to look today to see if they can revoke my bond. She's full of crap. What this is I have court on the 26th. My attorney can't make it to court because he has another hearing scheduled in his area. And so he's there for a continuance to continue the appeals. That's it. There's nothing about revoking my bond or anything like that. She's full of crap. She's wishful thinking. They ain't revoking my damn bond. What are they going to do? Are they going to go up there and force them to? I think this community has learned their lesson with the first go round. So,
well, I have never seen anybody in a missing persons case go file a restraining order on somebody that's trying to help them find their kid.
Yeah. Tell her to go strangle her daughter a few more times. Maybe that'll make her feel better. Piece of shit.
To me, that shows guilt. And every time somebody gets close to breaking this case, the craziness gets worse.
Mm-hmm.
And it is very stressful. I had to tell my classmates last night, hey, I got to back away for a minute. I had to go take a break and then come back to them. Because I can't stand the voice of numbnuts. I can't stand it. And I wish, I hope that when they do that perp walk of the UTI and the numbnuts, I hope all these hate channels have the balls to stand up and public apologize to you and Justin and the rest.
I don't want an apology. I don't want an apology from none of these people. I don't want I don't want nothing from them. You know what I want? I just want the vindication, because after that, I'm going to drag their ass for the next 5 years. Believe that. Everything they do is going to be under a microscope. The tables will turn. We're going to analyze every little word they say. We're going to make them look like idiots, because they are. They're felons. They like beating children and smoking crack and lighting it up if you need it. God knows what else they're doing there. Okay. I got no time for those people. Those people are beneath me. Until they change their life, they're beneath me.
Right. And Mr. Crabapple, please, honey, you got a newborn child and another child and a wife. Honey, go check yourself into rehab.
Amen.
Give yourself some help. Put your kids and your wife before your needs or your wants.
Amen. Amen.
Because
amen.
You're going to destroy your family. And if that other female, I'm going to call it a female because he's a male, is that really worth jeopardizing your family for? Standing out in the woods while you're supposed to be searching for a missing child, doing it, putting stuff up your nose, it's not worth it.
Yep.
You know, that's the number one reason why.
And Sumner County works for the criminals instead of the victims.
That's the number one reason why there is so many broken homes.
Yep. Bobby's case
And
at a critical stage, Caroline says. I agree with that. I think we're making movement, though. You know, I do think we're making movement. I still believe that there was a lot of mistakes made, but you know what? At the end of the day, if they bring Sebastian home, who cares, right? It doesn't matter how many mistakes they made. As long as they bring Sebastian home, who cares? But if they're going to make those mistakes, block the public out, and still not bring justice or the boy home, then we got a big problem.
Well, I think if LE would take what we sent into them early this morning, that this case will be wide open and it would be solved.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if we take it serious, we don't know.
Yeah, well, they can't give us everything. I mean, that goes to the integrity of the investigation, and me being from the, lawyer side, attorney side, defendants, that side, I've got legal training. I understand exactly why they can't, nor do I want them to, because we are here for justice for the majority of our victims. Some of the victims, we just need to find them. But the majority of our victims have either been hurt, kidnapped, abducted, kidnapping and abducted, I guess it's the same thing. But, they are victims of a crime, whether they're healthy and they're going to make it home or they're not.
Right. And my heart bleeds for Seth.
Yeah.
I have a son that's the same age as Sebastian. He's not autistic, but he does have ADHD.
Mm-hmm.
And it is very hard at times to, to understand what your child is going through. And I understand Seth totally. He wants his son. That's his baby.
Yeah.
It will always be his baby. And for Miss Numbness to sit there and plead the fifth before any shows her character that, hey, wait a minute, you're pleading the fifth, but your son's out here missing and you ain't even out here looking with your
it's pretty telling. It's pretty telling.
Of a man.
Yeah.
Pretty much telling you that there's a saying that you can't find something if you never lost it.
Right.
So where is he? Katie and Chris, come out, tell the truth.
Oh,
because I can guarantee you that he is somewhere, and you know where he is, and you're hiding him. You are doing worse for your case.
Yeah.
Come out and be honest and say, well, I really didn't want him to go to his dad, so I took him with a family member, a friend, something.
Yeah. Well, Shirley, I gotta let you go. It's you've went over 18 minutes. I gotta go.
I'm sorry, honey, but I'll send all that to you when I get home from the doctor.
All right, hon. Will do. Thank you so much. God bless you.
You too.
Bye-bye. All right, guys. So we've got it. Thank you, Rebecca. God bless all the people that have sponsored this show today and have helped me. You guys mean the world to me, and I really do appreciate all your love and support. Thank you, guys, very, very much. And it's always a pleasure speaking to Shirley. As you can see, me and Shirley could probably have a conversation on this channel for literally an hour. Maybe that's what we should do. Maybe we should. She's almost done with her. Her criminal justice degree. Maybe we'll bring her up here and get an analysis and talk to her for, like an hour. I know I'm working right now. I haven't reached out. I mean, I just approached Cajun to see if she'd be willing to come on the show and talk about some of the stuff that she's done, what she's been working on with the Sebastian Wayne Rogers. I know Cajun's been here kind of from the beginning, but just on the TikTok side. She does have a YouTube channel, and I'd love for you guys to be introduced to her and get to know her a little bit better, and go over there and sub up to her work, because to be honest with you, she's the one that's been feeding. She's the one that effectively took Katie's alibi away from her. So if it wasn't for Cajun's observations, we might not be here. So we always try to make sure that the people that are doing the good work are getting recognized and getting the viewership that because the more viewership we can take from crap channels to reputable channels, the better, more informed our audience is going to be. And that's the name of the game. I want you guys informed, okay? I want you guys informed with the truth. I want you guys, whenever you're making your theories and assessments and your speculation, I want it to be grounded in factual information. It may hold water, it may not hold water, but I want you guys using your noggins with the right information, not the rumors and people think because they think it's got to be true. You know, all the stuff that we've been presenting has been factually presented. Now, our speculation and our theories are just that. There are speculation, there are opinions, right? There are opinions of what factual information we have. We don't need a whole lot for common sense to kick in. A child was with his mother. A child went into the home with his mother, and a child never left that home. There's no evidence that that child ever left that home, and the child's missing. It's not rocket science here. Okay? Now, for law enforcement, they have to put the pieces together, and that can be drawn out. But it's not rocket science to see what's going on here. So the only way this boy left that home is by somebody else. The mom saying she was sleeping. We're finding out that is a lie. Liar. 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 And so that's the problem. You know, we know that these are lies. We knew that they were lies, but now we have, let me put it, our opinion based on the facts was that the parents were lying. That was our opinion. And now we're finding evidence to support that opinion, making that opinion go from an opinion to more of a fact. You see how that works? So I want people to understand this, you know, but you need good, right, and credible information in order to make those assessments. If you're making assessments on unfactual information, your assessment's already damaged. Your assessment's already wrong. If you're making assessments based on factual information, the probability of you being more accurate goes up in that assessment. Faye says, Betty, the unscrupulous PI establishes the 3-minute timeline with this photo and debunked the kidnapping or runaway theory, in my opinion. He debunked everything other than mommy and stepdaddy did it. I'm sorry. I'm not lying. The man's just that horrible. You know, hindsight. I forgot to bring up hindsight. Hindsight's a mod here, and I forgot to even put her in there of the good creators that we cover. Thank you, Hindsight, for being here, and thank you, Love, for all you do. The sweetest, one of the sweetest people I met. Sweet Misery. Sweet Misery. Brittany, these people are sweet people that really just want to do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. Not everybody is like these hate channels and just here for greedy purposes. Some of us used to be greedy. Some of us used to be takers. Some of us had life changes and now realize it's so much better giving back than it is taking. And that's what I try to convey because you know what? It feels good to do good. And I have been saying that for years since I've been on this platform. Go out and do good and feel that. You don't need an attaboy. You don't need thank you so much for doing that. You don't need that because it literally feels good. You feel great doing good. Your body feels great. Your mind feels great. Your attitude is great. JC is coming on at, who's J? Well, I don't know why when I see these on a split second, I don't know. Oh, Jennifer Coffindaffer. Okay, never mind. JC is coming on at 3 p.m. Okay, that's great. Thank you for letting me know. So everybody knows at 3 p.m., go over to Jennifer Coffindaffer. I have a video that's going to be dropping at 3 p.m. today, but you don't need to watch it at 3 p.m. I'd rather you go over to Jennifer Coffindaffer's channel, support her, and then after Jennifer Coffindaffer, then watch the video if you so choose. But it's just my live from TikTok this morning. Some of you guys may have already been in my TikTok. It's no new information to you, but for the rest of you, you guys were not. So we'll try to get that. Oh yeah, guys, the phones are still on. Sorry, I started talking and everybody forgot the phones were on. Let me put my banner, my banner back up. 724-252-8070. Sorry for taking you guys on that tangent, but thank you for being patient. Thank you, Cajun, for all you do. Email revelation really was the best turning point for Sebastian's case. Yes, yes, yes. Sub up to hindsight. Hindsight's right there. Carla, thank you for being here. Thank God for you being here. Aw, thank you. Can you drop her link, please? Somebody will drop her link. Which link, Judy? Do you want Jennifer Coffindaffer or Cajun's? Let me go over here. Yeah, because they'll drop both of them. I don't even, Cajun, email me your channel so I don't have to search for it. And I'll go ahead and throw your channel link up here since people are asking for it. Let me see if Cajun does that. And thank you, Justin, for getting me that photo. That was super, super sweet. Oh, I see it now. I see it now. Thank you. That was so much better. We got context. Thank you, Brandy. Sunstar. Sorry, I should have probably just left it. Sunstar, thank you. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. Sunstar just sent, so now we have good context of where the camera is, folks. So I'm going to give me just a second. Guys, don't call in just yet. Let me pull this banner down. I don't want you guys getting doxxed by accident. So please don't call in. Give me just a second. Let me pull this up for you because I want you to see this. It's blurry, but then you get it. Okay, it's blurry, but you get the context. We're only looking for context here, folks. Okay, so let me go ahead and pull this up. There you go. So you see how the house is kind of off from the porch. You see how the house is kind of off from the porch. So it's like you got a house going this way and the porch going this way. It is right here on the corner. That's why it bypasses that's why it looks like it's off into the grass, because technically it is, because this corner of the house comes further past the porch. So that makes sense. So there you go, guys. Now we have the perfect angle of this. So it is kind of going just slightly at an angle, but straight across. That is the Proudfoots. Oh, and also one thing that I found out is that when the obscured line that the unscrupulous PI put there across the backyard, when that was removed, it showed the back porch where the yellow circled, lights were on their porch as well. So lights were on their porch, which they have a door that has, if I'm not mistaken, we'll have to go back and look, but I'm pretty sure their door that leads out to this area, or maybe it goes in. We'll have to look at the design and see if it's just the sliding glass doors, but for whatever reason, I feel like there's a door that comes from their room into the porch back there, but it might just be a window. We have to check that out, because that further solidifies, how can somebody sleep with light shining in their window? There's no way that we can conceivably assess that the mom at minimum was asleep at midnight when lights are all on. The whole back of the house is lit up like a freaking Christmas tree. The back of the house is lit up like a flipping Christmas tree, y'all. So thank you for that. That does clarify. I mean, I was racking my head. I couldn't figure out how that whole, you gotta, that's why I like being boots on the ground, right? When you see something or even read something from Google, I remember, this is a perfect example. I remember Brian Enton. You guys know Brian Enton. When I first met Brian Enton, he had 25,000 followers on X. That was it. He was new to News Nation, just the sweetest guy in the whole world. And, so we were out there. He pretty much got his reputation and his numbers and his name recognition from the Gabby Petito case, much like myself. Well, he was out at Spread Creek. I want to say it was like 2 weeks before we did our tour out there to follow the steps of Brian and Gabby Petito, Brian Laundrie and Gabby Petito. And so I was watching his footage from Spread Creek, and he's like, he's out there, he's standing, you can see the water behind him. He's out there with his microphone, and he's talking about, or maybe he had a set mic. I can't remember. I feel like he had a microphone in his hand, but I can't remember. And he's like, she was found here about 1,000 yards this way. It's not too far away, just over a few little streams, and you're there. So, we're going out there. We've got no map to find out where she is. We only have photos, right? And a description from Brian Enton. Let me tell you, that piece in my intro video, this 55-second one where you see me slip on the snow. I would just bear with it, because you're going to see it. You're going to see me slip in the snow in this, and I can't talk over this when I play it. So you're going to have to wait until you get there, but it's only 55 seconds. I'm sure you guys got it. Okay, not here. Come up here. Now we're in Idaho. There it is. That's it. Did you guys see that? That doesn't look like it's just over a few streams. I'm telling you, it wasn't over a few streams. We had to walk through a few streams. You guys saw all that snow on the ground. That spread, it's a bunch of rocks under your feet. It was the most uncomfortable walk that you could have. Then we're having to hunt for where her memorial is. And let me tell you, Brian Enton, you did not describe it as it really was. Because not only it was not 1,000 feet, it was like yards. It was all the way in the Federal Reserve part of Spread Creek, and it was over multiple streams. Like, I want to say at least 7 different streams we had to cross through, which is where I was slipping because you couldn't tell where water was, and because the snow on some of these things it sits right on the water, and you step in it and you sink down and your foot's in the water. So the person that's confused, we were dovetailing over to the Idaho 4 and, Brian Enton, and just kind of getting on a little tangent, nothing too major. But that's why I like being boots on the ground, because the description you're hearing from somebody else is not what you're going to see in real life. And a lot of the stuff that I read, even in the newspaper, everybody used to say I was making this mistake or I was making that mistake. And I was reading it from the newspaper. You know why? Because they also make mistakes. When you're out there firsthand, you get the vibe, you get the feeling. There's so much more that comes to you than just the words and just the stories and just the facts. You get feelings. Your gut starts working. Your instinct starts engaging. And that's what I rely on. That is my kryptonite. That's my bread and butter when it comes to these cases, because I've got to get vibes and feelings. Give me a second. Sorry about that. Yard guy. He's supposed to be coming here Saturday. I don't know why he came today, but like I said, I'll see you Saturday. Let's say the yard doesn't need to be mowed just yet. And yeah, the intuition kind of starts coming in. So anyways, guys, let me get the phones back on so you guys can call. Oh, the phones are still on. I just need to change it here. Give me just a second. Make sure I didn't lose my audio. Okay, it looks like the audio is still good. So if you guys have any questions, want to talk about anything, the call-in is 724-252-8070. We're talking about the lights. I would like to keep the concentration or the conversation really engaged around the lights. But if you have other assessments or a commentary, I don't want you not being able to be able to speak that. Number 724-252-8070. I know we're crossing over about the 3-hour mark. So what I think would be the fairest, because you guys did raise the money, we're going to stay here until I got to call enough for one more phone call if somebody wants to call in. And what we'll do is this afternoon, or it'll be later this evening because we're already at 1 o'clock and I can't do a live back to back. Maybe in about 3 or 4 hours, we'll come back here and we'll just have a straight live show so people can just talk about the case. This is Betty. Who's this and where are you calling from?
Hi. Hold on, let me turn this down.
Oh, sure.
Won't mute. Oh my God.
It happens.
Oh.
There you are calling in.
Oh my God, I can't get you off my TV. Anyways, I'll go to the other room.
That's
This
okay.
is Rhonda, and I'm calling from Torrance, California. I just wanted to say real quick that did anybody ever think about the fact that the asshole detective, quote unquote asshole, is setting them up to get the reward money?
That man's in it for himself. So it would not surprise me that he is that deceptive and manipulative, but he has been paid and is under contract. So he would have a little more time, in my opinion, collecting any reward, being already paid $15,000. So
because he did say on the War Lodge that he would hand them in.
Yeah, he did. But you know what? He's
Yeah, he
done
did.
everything. He said if he found evidence, that's what he said.
Oh,
He is,
okay.
if he found evidence that alleges his clients might be responsible, he would turn them in. Yet every piece of evidence, hard, cold evidence he's received, he's dismissed and tried to debunk so he doesn't have to acknowledge the fact that even that whole strip behind you can't tell me he didn't see that lady standing there in the window.
Right.
I mean, it's a figure. And he's
standing in the way.
Out? Come on.
The fact that they hired that guy, he's standing in the way of everything, and it's pissing me off.
Yeah. I agree. I agree.
Anyways, that's all I wanted to say, and I love your heart. Your heart's in the right spot.
Oh, thank you, love. Thank you, love. Well, God bless
you. You should be proud of yourself. Okay.
I appreciate it.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Everybody always tells me to be proud of myself. I am more proud. It's because it's never been me in all of this. It's never been me. I've never been more proud of the family and the community that we have cultivated. And it's not just a community that I've cultivated. I can't even take the blame for this, right? It's a whole bunch of other great content creators in their audience too. I can tell you, I'm sure Justin can concur, Smiley's World can concur, Hindsight can concur. We would not be or do, Cajun, we would not be able to do what we do and how we do it without all of you. Because we can be the best people in the whole world, but if nobody's watching and it's not getting any further than our living room or the front scene of that crime, then it's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. We could work every single day and nothing would go anywhere. It is all of you, all of the audience members that are invested and engaged in these conversations. You are what make the creators great. Because if you look at it, creators that have trash audiences and trash garbage people are garbage because they represent their audience. I really like to try to think that we represent our audience well, right? So that means my audience probably is a little rough around the edges, but loves life and loves people and wants to fight for justice, right? People that are, say, maybe on Brittany J's channel might be a little more, wear their heart on their sleeve a little more, right? And you really see the content creator through the lens of their audience, And I think all these content creators do represent, in the most part, represent their audience well. But don't ever think it's us. I'm going to tell you, it is never us, okay? It is all you beautiful people, period. If it weren't for you, we wouldn't be half the content creators that we are. We can only go so far, but it really takes you guys being engaged, sending us stuff, giving us your perspectives. It helps us guide the conversation, but don't ever think it's one person. Without all of us, this child would have been lost. Period. He would have been lost. He would have been lost in the system. God knows what kind of bullcrap Sumner County would have believed. We don't know. We don't know. But we're very thankful. All right, guys. I'm going to try to squeeze in another 1 hour live. We're not going, thank you, Grace upon Grace. Gifted 5 Bullhorn Betty memberships. If you received your gifted membership, please don't forget to tell Grace upon Grace thank you. And for all of the people that became members or got a free membership to the Bullhorn Betty channel, welcome to our crazy family. This is the coffee club. We're a little crazy. We're a little wired on caffeine, but we have a lot of heart and a lot of passion to hold people that do terrible things accountable. So welcome to this crazy crew and welcome to the insane asylum. Thank you, Brown Eye Girl. I don't know what I would do without this button. I still believe Justin, he's never going to be able to convince me otherwise. I think he's a voice model for the funny goat screams for stress relief button. Just saying. Chris! Kiss! Chris! I'm sorry. Poor Delilah. She's like, Mom, stop. I'm sorry. Did I scare you? She's looking at the button saying, Mom, can you knock it off, please? Just knock it off. You should see her face. Not lying. Not lying. You should see this. She's like, what the hell is this lady doing? You can't see her. She keeps cutting off. What the hell is Mom doing? See, I went for a ride this morning with Mommy and I cried. And I don't know why I was crying. She even let me see outside the window, but I just wanted to make sure that I cried and go. I love this little girl. I love this little girl. She is so stinking spoiled. Look at that. She even knows she's spoiled. She's like, yeah, you bitches. You bitches. She's living the life of luxury. I wish I was Delilah. Delilah, can you work all day and let me sleep all day? Can we do that? Let's try that. I think we should do a role reverse. I'd love to be petted and snuggled and kissed and hugged all day long. I don't know if I'd like my mommy putting me in cute dresses either, but still. She's a little naked girl today. She is cute. I tell you what, this little dog just brightens my life. She really does. Every time, take it to Walmart. It's nice to see you. Misty says, let's see what Misty says. I didn't see this. She says, in my opinion, if it hadn't been for us keeping focused on Sebastian and Seth, keep pushing, FBI, Doc, Nick wouldn't put out their reward and jump on to help Sebastian. This case would be cold. I truly believe it. I truly believe it. I think we, social media, we have a way of really getting to, because we care. I mean, at the end of the day, this is not a story. If these cases were just a story for us, we would be just like mainstream media. We would do a clip here, a clip there, and just give you guys updates. We wouldn't go through these cases. We wouldn't analyze these cases. We wouldn't bring you guys, out with us to these areas to show you around. All of that would not take place if we didn't push, if we didn't keep his name out here. I do believe it would have been cold. I don't know how I feel about this community, it's like law enforcement and stuff. I'm going to reserve my commentary for a little bit on that. I mean, I think I've made my point. But I believe everything happens for a reason. As dark as that may be at times, I believe everything does happen for a reason. I always try to find a silver lining in everything because I believe it happens for a reason. And I think that there's something that can be taken away from that. For example, Sebastian Rogers disappeared. It's not a case we would normally take, but we took it. We've uncovered some really weird things going on in the government of Sumner County. And we would not be looking into the government of Sumner County without the case of Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. So I believe that this was a multi-point, situation. And we keep wondering, how did we get so fixed to this case? And I have to believe it's something a lot bigger than ourselves. Because I think in this particular case, out of all the cases we cover, I feel like there's a lot of God in this case. And I know it doesn't look like it because we're dealing with a missing boy. And, but you got to understand, God is not stopping evil. He only can do so much. Evil will always be evil. But what he can do is he can put a light to that darkness. He can heal the sick. And we pray to God's hand in all this. And I do believe he does, because again, it comes down to the fact that we are covering this case and went we investigated this thoroughly for our show. And this is not a case we would thoroughly investigate for our show in any other situation. So I feel like when you look at this whole case, yeah, we're in a bad situation. But look how good God is in all of this. He brought us all together for this child that in many cases would never have been covered by us. That to me is God's hands in this case. Okay, I really believe that. I believe that wholeheartedly. So, all right, guys, I've kept you here long enough. Thank you for spending 3 hours of your morning with me. I try not to be this, this wordy or this lengthy on my lives, but you guys really did. You guys got shortchanged yesterday, so I wanted to make it up to you with some really good content and really good information, and also inform you on other cases that we're touching on, but not being able to really investigate. But it's still information that you need to know. Oh, the poll. Thank you, YouTuber. The one thing I always forget. All right, poll. It's taken a second. Okay, here we go. So the poll, let's get the drum roll. Were CP and KP up at 3 a.m. when movement was observed outside of their home? 25% of our audience this morning, we had almost 1,882 votes. Only 25% of all those votes believe that it was not them. We have an overwhelming 75% of our audience that watches the Bullhorn Betty channel put their vote in and believes that, yes, without a doubt, it was them. If you guys would like to participate in our call show, we will have a call show later this evening. It's going to be about 3 or 4 hours. We got to let this curate and And it's just the way YouTube works. I wish I could just turn around, give us a half hour or an hour break and come back live and open up the phone lines, but it doesn't quite work like that. So at 3 o'clock, I will be dropping a video. So we're looking, I don't know. I know Justin, what time are you going on tonight, Justin? 7? I think Justin's going to be on at 7. So I might, if I can, I don't know. We'll check the timing. I might, cut in front of him for the phone call, like maybe the hour before he starts, so we can all go over to Justin's together. I might do that. We'll see. We'll see where my time goes once I get through my day, because we're over the live. I'm just now starting. Go over to Mr. E Crimecast. He's covering Megan Boswell trial. Thank you. The Real Me Too. If you guys want some content, please go over and show Mr. and Mrs. E some love. Give them a few prayer hands. I'm going to have to take care of some things once these lights go off. So if you guys could please tell them I said hi and I love them and I hope everybody's doing well. I'd greatly appreciate it if you give that message from me to them. Thank you all that participated, all the content creators that were in here. Thank you so much for being in here. And we'll see you all soon. Very, very, very soon. God bless you. Rock it out with your coffee beans out. Don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And until next time, please be safe. Say it with me and kind to one another. All right, get out of here. Talk to you later. Love you guys. Bye. From the East Coast to the West Coast, we are everywhere true crime is. We are asking for the public's help. We are searching in the woods. We are doing what it takes here on the Bullhorn Betty channels to find answers to the most alarming cases we have been watching on the news. I can tell you personally that I have traveled this entire country seeking these answers and bringing that content right here to you here on the Bullhorn Betty channels and Bullhorn Betty Crime Stories. We are happy with the work that we've done. We brought many answers to the public, and we have defied mainstream media in our pursuit of the truth in these cases. We will continue to work, we will continue to fight for these victims, and we will continue to tell their stories here on my channels. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty brand of channels and the Coffee Club. Thank you for your love, thank you for your support, and more importantly, thank you for allowing me to bring these victims' stories to each and every one of you, advocating for each of these victims. God bless you, God bless America, and more importantly, God bless our victims.